Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special mid-season roundtable discussion for Arena Football 1, hosted by 3 different platforms. We got a lot of Arena Football brain power here, guys. I'm Adam Snow from the world of football, who has drawn the short straw and gets to do this wonderful intro. Joining our panel tonight, guys, are a bunch of heavy hitters. All right, I'm talking the heaviest of heavy. We got Tim Capper from AF1 Fan Zone alongside Scott Burke from AF1 Fan Zone. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Doing great. This is always one of my favorite times of year when we get to do this.
My brain's hurting me.
Nobody cares, Tim. All right, moving on. We have Joshua from Rebound Off the Net. Josh, this is the first time we've interacted. How you doing, bud? How's everything down there in the great state of Texas?
Doing great, man. Glad to be here.
All right, and the last and least member of this esteemed council, my father, the founder of the world of football himself. You guys might know him, Randy Snow, whatever, who cares?
Wow.
You nailed it, son.
This is why we chose you.
It's why I'm here. All right. But no,
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
There you go. And hey, we want to appreciate Scott, AF1 Fans for putting this whole thing together, getting us together at this mid-season point, because we got a lot to talk about, not just in terms of this past weekend's games. We got a lot to kind of look back on how the league's been doing up to this point in the middle of the season, and then what we got to look forward to and beyond. Scott, I know you're kind of got a game plan for tonight. I know we can jump around, but let's throw it over to you. Where do you want to start tonight?
I'm thinking let's just get the nuts and bolts out of the way, and then we can get on to kind of the more obscure kind of fun stuff, predictions and all that. But yeah, so if you're good, let's go check out what happened this week.
All right.
As this kicks over, there we go. Kind of wild little stretch of games, closer games than I expected for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And it started off Friday night, Nashville taking on Minnesota. Minnesota finally getting that first home game of the year after 7 weeks, and they unveiled that brand new field. And the game started off pretty good. It became a little bit of a one-sided affair, but before that point, this was a good game.
Yeah, I mean, again, Minnesota played tougher than I expected. It was, the score doesn't show. You're talking a 30-point score differential, but it was closer to that. It was tougher than that. Minnesota, I'm sure, just had a big sigh of relief. Finally getting a home game in week 7.
Well, I couldn't not look at that 50-yard line on that field. It was very striking.
That's the same thing.
All I could see.
Does Jacob? I wonder if Jacob's going to try to get that fixed, because like anybody who's a little OCD are like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was fixated on that the whole time. Otherwise, that's a great looking field.
It's fantastic. It's just 2 yards. It's just 2 yards of imperfection that set that whole thing off. And then I didn't realize, I kind of realized it, but Scott, it was who pointed it out about all the arrows on the field pointed in one direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh really? I got to go. Now I got to go back and look.
And it's a beautiful field, though. It's like I want this to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But
and their dasher boards were awesome too. Those were beautiful.
Yeah, those were.
No, they're doing all the things right, and that's what ultimately comes down to. They're doing all the things right. They're clearly not in that elite tier yet, but of the rest, there's a reason. They're right there. I mean, it's a solid team.
They need to get their roster fixed a little bit to change to Arena Football 1 from where they were at before. So I think that's their biggest hurdle right now is changing to the roster a little bit.
Yeah, I don't always want to think nothing to do with the ownership at all, too, because I think with all fairness, guys, I think if any owner is willing to go the whole distance and do the dasher boards right, which they have them right in Minnesota, I'm not going to complain. You can tell, and us, with us speaking with Jacob a few weeks ago, it's top-notch ownership group. Top-notch ownership group.
Well, and he didn't order the field that way. It's not like say, hey, I want 2 extra yards of dark green, and I want everything. So that wasn't something they planned for that to happen. But these fields don't just show up overnight. So to get something like that fixed is is what it is. You know, if that's the worst thing they have to deal with field wise there, that's way better than we've seen in the past. That's for sure.
Oh, sure. And once we get to last night's game with Oceanside, speaking of fields, there's a comment last night during the broadcast, which I'll bring up. But you got to, as I said, it's just a matter of Minnesota getting it all together. I mean, again, like the Kentucky game last night, the score is not really indicative of what it was because it was a damn close game. Michigan, Oregon it should have been, I'm sure you guys will be talking about it more, but it's 20 points is misleading also because, yeah. And then Beaumont, Washington. Is this Washington Wolfpack team finally getting over that hurdle, even with the loss? What a way to lose, too. We've had so many last-minute wins or last play wins, and this one literally went down to the, last play.
Wait, they're scoring. Like at one point, that was our only criteria for Washington is just score. So
yeah, the last year was horrific. So yeah, they've made it a long ways since then.
So did they get that hurdle though, guys? Because I was saying, Scott and I were saying last week, they win by 60+ points last week, and this game versus Beaumont was the litmus test. Even though they did lose, has Washington gotten over that hurdle, or is it still, to you guys, is it still on a week-to-week basis to make sure that that this team stays consistent?
Well, I don't know. Yes, they have been playing well, but I don't know if they can keep it up depending on what their schedule is. They may take a step back next week. I don't know. I don't know who they're playing next week, but they've been down for so long that to say that they've completely turned the corner yet, I don't know if I would go that far. But they're definitely playing a heck of a lot better.
Yeah, I think we'll see the next few weeks. Next 3 weeks, they got very winnable games, and then they close out the season with kind of the top teams, Nashville, Albany, at the end of the season. So I think we'll see in the next few weeks if they can get a couple wins out of here.
We got 2 more Oregon matchups, so that's going to help things.
And that will help tremendously. I think they've overcome a hurdle. I don't know if they've overcome the hurdle. I think they've kind of figured a couple things out. They got the quarterback position. It seems right. I feel like that position was a bugaboo last year. This year, kind of got him at least because I know there was that tough game he played against Nashville where they only scored 3 points. But I mean, you were at that game, Scott, and you said that they were moving the ball. They were doing a lot of right things. They just didn't finish. But now that they're finishing drives and they're actually kind of figuring stuff out, or maybe this quarterback figured stuff out for this team, it's kind of, rippled out to everybody else, and they seem to have clicked enough to at least be very competitive. You don't take an Albany team, regardless if they had to travel like that. I don't care. You took an Albany team to the fourth quarter, and that's a tough ask in this league for the last couple of years. So there's some stuff for them to hang their hats on. Still a ways to go, and this next stretch is big for them. Like you said, they got the easy. I won't say easy, but they got the double matchup with Oregon. Teams that have only had one win, with the exception of Michigan now, who got their second win. So it's all in front of them. They just have to answer the bell.
I mean, their toughest game comes in week 13. I mean, that's a heck of a stretch to not have to face any of that top tier elite group of teams. So I mean, there's an easy path to the playoffs for them. Let's just put it that way. So they're all, I think, in the same stratosphere, with all these 1-2 win teams. I think they're all fairly close.
Yeah.
So nothing's easy,
right?
But
I just think this year for the AF1, the discrepancy between the top and the bottom has drastically come down. We saw Michigan take Albany to the wire last week, and Michigan at that time was the last place team in the league. Albany the best. I think there's a lot more of that now. It's any of these teams can win any given week. It's just a matter of can they play consistently and stay on, as we've said on our shows, can they, keep their P's and Q's in line? Can they, play as good of a game as they can possibly, because you need that against the top tier teams in this league.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of taking teams, pushing teams, last night I know not a lot of us got to stay up that late to see how it wrapped up, but the Kentucky Oceanside game had an hour delay. We still don't 100% know why, but there was an hour delay on that game. And again, one of those score doesn't quite show how the game was. 20-point win for Kentucky. That 20 points didn't come till the very end, the very, very end. Oceanside pushed them again more than I expected to see. Oceanside's built a powerhouse. They're scoring points.
It was a good game last night. I stayed up to watch the whole thing. I was doing something else at the time though, but it's kind of shades. If anybody goes back as far as I do, I think Randy, you would the old AF2 late night viewers club when Hawaii would be broadcasting over on Nifty TV, and everybody would stay up, and because of the 6-hour difference at this time of the year, it'd be like 2 a.m. to watch the Hawaii game or something like that. So it was good. I as I said, I think besides that little glitch at the beginning, which nobody knew what the hell was going on, again, it's funny to say that I honestly think that Oceanside is the best one-win team in the league. It's weird to say that type of thing, but we know Jerry Kurz was there last night. One of the funnier things, if anybody watched it, you got to go back and watch it, is that he was interviewed in the fourth quarter, and you could tell the guys in the booth know about arena football-ish. But the guy, the guy was, they're questioning something last night, and it's like, dude, don't you know the rules? I'm trying to remember which one it was, but it was like, don't you know the rules? He was questioning fan interference. A fan knocked the ball back into play, and it was intercepted. And he goes, "Well, I've never seen that." I was like, "What are you talking about? You've never seen fan interference before? It's a replay of the play. The play didn't count." Anyways, so Jerry was there, interviewed, and he asked Jerry, "So how long have you been involved with this?"
Well, it was right after getting done saying the league's been around for 40 years. He just finished saying that when he asked that question.
Yeah, and Jerry, without missing a beat, 40 years. So, quick aside, it was mentioned it looks like that Oceanside has a new primary sponsor, and they interviewed him last night. And he said that by the next Oceanside home game, that there will be a quote unquote new field. And I don't know what that means, because as anybody who's watched the game so far, the boards are not, I don't think they're local ads, just by some of them I can tell. Some of the stuff's torn off and stuff like that. And then the logo at midfield is just in white. Yeah. So I'm curious to know what he means by that, because I think, Scott, you said to me, it would be weird to bring in a brand new field this late in the season. But mind you, how many home games they have left.
We got 3.
It kind of makes sense, but I'm curious to know what that actually means. I mean, does it mean that they're just going to paint their name on the turf like they do in Albany for TransFinder? I don't know. But I just wanted to at least mention that, because I thought it was. Oh, guys, what was the point? The point of some of these teams in that game? Drop kicks. Why was Coach Walker going for drop kicks last night? And I think Oceanside was too. It didn't make any sense, because I think if near the end of the game, before Kentucky went ahead, Oceanside could have been, I think, at least tied or ahead if they hadn't tried those drop kicks. And considering who their kicker is, I'm very surprised that they did that.
Well, I will say Henry he's coming back, and actually we're scheduled to talk to Henry next week on Fan Zone Live. He's got just an absolutely incredible story. He missed a couple extra points in the first game. I think he missed a couple last night when they've been held. His drop kicks have been making it. So, I think there's something there. Just getting some confidence back.
Maybe
I don't want to let too much of his story out cat out of the bag here, but he's had a rough off season. So
yeah, more than I think people know.
Yeah. So I think that's a big part of at least Kentucky, and I think Oceanside is because we can. Is my guess.
Yes, I guess. But I think yeah, one of Henry's kicks was blocked in the fourth quarter. I mean, literally was blocked. It was a bad hold and stuff like that. But I said it before, guys. Do you guys agree with me that Oceanside's the best one-win team in the league?
I mean,
at this point, probably yes.
Yeah.
Now that Michigan's got 2 wins, I would definitely say that Oceanside's the best one-win team.
There's only 2 teams with 1 win. That's Oceanside and Oregon. So of those 2, yes, Oceanside's a better team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yes,
out of
Timothy, we
the
agree.
bottom dwellers. Joshua, what are you thinking?
Who's the best 2-win team?
I was just about to say that too.
We got 3 teams with 2: Baymont, Washington, and Michigan. So
I got to
Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah.
Michigan.
Okay, you guys beat me to it. Yeah, I was going to say Michigan. There we go.
Certainly the most tested.
Yeah.
Especially how they played Albany, like, went Castronova back too. That was played a close game. So
they've made enough changes in Michigan that I think that this upcoming game against Nashville in a couple weeks will tell a lot about this team. I think they played Minnesota tougher the second time around. They played Oregon a lot better the second time around. So now that Michigan's got a feel for Nashville, that'll be a litmus test right there. If Michigan can keep that game a lot closer than it got away from them the first meetup, and they play Nashville really close, then or even beat Nashville, that'll say a lot.
Michigan and Oceanside, as far as I'm concerned, are the only true expansion teams this year, in my opinion, because Kentucky pretty much took a whole bunch of the Firebirds and established coach, and they just built a great team that knew the game inside and out from the go. Oceanside had to create a team with a lot of local players due to the cost of living down in San Diego. And man, their offense is amazing, I think, due to that. And the fact that it is done with locals is absolutely incredible. Beaumont came from another league. They had players, coaches already established. Minnesota's a remix of an existing franchise. Not the same, but not that far off. So they had a lot of pieces in place. But yeah, Michigan and Oceanside, the only 2 that I really consider true expansion teams because of how they were built. And it takes a while to learn the game.
Mm-hmm. It's a fair assessment. I would probably still put Minnesota up there coming from TAL because, Beaumont's coming from the NAL, which was at the time it was arena style football when they played. So
ish.
Yeah, ish. I think I would add Minnesota in there too because TAL is a different, no pun intended, monster in itself. So,
oh, come on, Tim. You know that was intended.
It worked. It worked. By the way, guys, real quick, because I know you'll be mentioning it on your show this week when you do your recap. But talk about the Michigan-Oregon game. I mean, is the score, because obviously Michigan was up by a lot more. Is the 20-point win flattering for Oregon, or were you at any point kind of concerned considering how much Oregon came back?
Dad, you want to start off or you want me to go?
I can start off. I wasn't too concerned that they were going to win the game, but yes, they did come back considerably and they did make it respectable. But even the final score, you have 53 up there and everybody kept saying 54. And right after halftime, there was a mistake by 1 point. They added 1 more point to Michigan's score. And Adam and I both knew it because we were at his house and we were watching it together. And we said, no, that it was 30. They had 30 points at halftime. Then they kicked a deuce to kick off the second half. Then they scored a touchdown with an extra point. That's 39. And they put up 40 and they maintained that through the rest of the game. And it wasn't until today, Adam, that they finally fixed it on the
today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday they corrected it, or this morning. I don't remember. I was kind of I might have slid into some DMs and sent a video clip of the extra point. Guilty as charged. But no, I think even with that extra point, I don't know. There was a call or a play at the end of the game that I wasn't sure. I wish we could have gotten a better review or a better look if there was a play that kind of went Oregon's way. It was called a backwards lateral, and Michigan kind of stopped. They thought it was an incomplete pass. Then all of a sudden, Oregon runs it back for a touchdown. So that was kind of a fluky, kind of one of those plays that happens where like, wait, what just happened? And it got away from them. Otherwise, I feel like this would have been a little more of a blowout. Michigan probably would have gone down, punched it in to get at least over 60 points. And then it would have been 60 to 20 something. So it would have looked a lot worse just on that one drive alone. So I don't know what the deal is in Oregon. Like, we love ourselves some Dalton Cole. We're Dalton Cole fans, but something is amiss with that team up there. They just can't. I mean, if it's not him running the ball, it's tough to see him throwing. It's tough to see Oregon's offense get anything going, really. Their defense is very respectable. I think they got a lot of good guys on that defense, but man, that offense is just not clicking.
Yeah.
Well, now they got their offensive coordinator as head coach.
Yeah, their QB coach. Yeah, is now the head
QB
coach.
Yeah. So still, if that turns around a little bit.
There were a couple other things from the Michigan game that Adam and I talked about. The announcer talked about.
We can talk about a lot of games where the announcer starts that sentence, Randy.
But he was talking about the defensive coordinator Jeremy Liotta, and said that he was the son of Coach Sean Liotta. It's not his son; it's his brother. And little things like that they just couldn't quite get right, and they kept reading the wrong numbers on jerseys whenever we'd score a touchdown. They said it was they were mistaking number 11 for number 0 for whatever reason, and they did that a couple of times. So say what you will about
Oregon last night. They were out, without their scoreboard and without an in-game clock. That was a big issue last night too.
Yeah, we never knew what time
the other
it was
night
in the game.
Yeah, so they every once in a while would tell you there's 1 minute left in the quarter. Like we at home didn't even know it. Sometimes we're like, are they giving them like 20 minutes to run this quarter just to get some points? Like,
it was the same way in Oceanside too.
Oh yeah, I wish Oceanside would get it together. We know they have a score bug; they can put it up.
Yeah,
but
so that Kentucky.
Oh, go ahead.
So that Kentucky game, also had a little more significance. Sorry, not Kentucky. Nashville game. Coach Arbette, his 200th career win. That's, man. I mean,
awesome.
Then Tim, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do you know offhand the record?
Mark, I'm 211.
211. So he's closing on that fast.
Yeah, he should get there.
And by the way, arena football. Don't come at me saying Coach Kevin Guy. That's including his indoor record, his indoor stats. This is just arena football.
Yep. AFL, AF1.
And I mean, what can you say more about this guy? The guy is an absolute legend. We're fortunate to have him in the league with us again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh heck! Did you see his custom number 200 jersey he got after the game? He was holding that up. Oh, gorgeous!
Oh,
I assume that was.
I assume
was that a Royal Retro product? I assume.
I didn't see it. I'll have to go and take a peek at it. But that's
you
cool.
should. Yeah. Oh, it's on social somewhere. I don't know if we shared it on the World of Football Facebook or not. But yeah. Oh, it was so cool. I was like, we could put 3 numbers on jerseys. That's pretty sweet.
So yeah, just congrats to Coach. Great guy. Good to see him hit that mark. And I mean, I don't see any way that the all-time arena football record doesn't stand. I mean, like it's going away.
2 more seasons, you never know, dude. It's possible. It depends on what coach decides to do. I mean, however he finishes off this season and from there. So
at this point, he'll only need half a season next season to hit it.
Yeah, it's very possible
at this rate. So yeah, just congrats to him. That's such a huge milestone.
He doesn't show any signs of slowing down. I think he's just having the time of his life right now.
No, with that team, I don't blame him.
Good ownership group too, though. I mean, considering who's a part of it, the commissioner obviously, and Double J Slapnuts is there and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a good place to be. It's a good place to be.
I speaking of Double J, I was well, reading in a chat earlier today that they're saying, well, their other owners aren't really that involved. They're just off to the side. They just are used for their name. Double J is there. He's at the games. He's greeting the crowds. He's working with the rest of the staff. The guy's putting in the effort. He's involved in the league. From what I understand, he's talks to the league office, league officials all the time. He's not just a name to attach to the side of the team. He's actually actively involved with this franchise. So, if anyone ever thought otherwise, he's there. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Do we know if Gruden or Michael Waltrip's still around? Do we know?
Well, Waltrip, I think, is more just his beer company, kind of like the St. Joe Goats.
Mm-hmm.
The Kelsey brothers are owners now. 1% of the team is owned by their beer company.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's kind of one of those things with Waltrip. Gruden, I don't know. I haven't seen or heard anything on Gruden lately, but it'd be nice to see him get involved. At least do one of those box opening videos with a bunch of Cats gear. So, but yeah, congrats to Coach. That's just a huge, huge deal. We touched on this.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm thinking it is. And by the way, the thing that you have there, that's from the league, right? Is that a league graphic?
That's a league graphic, yeah.
It's nice to see the league recognize that. I know they're kind of iffy when it comes to other team records, but that's it is what it is. It is what it is. So,
and it's a fine line because they want to be the AF1. They want it to be its own standalone league. It's a new league, but you can't ignore the past. And whether this is the same league or a branch off, it's still part of the history of the sport. So,
for sure, 100%.
So 200 arena football wins, regardless of league. So, but yeah, it is good to see the league acknowledge that because, man, you just can't forget about that history.
Yeah.
Standings, any surprises here? Kind of, I think.
Well, outside of the top three, it's all up for grabs. What are there? Are there 6 playoff spots this year?
6, yep.
Okay, so you've got 6 teams at the bottom fighting for 3 spots left because those top 3, they're going to be there. So I mean, and at this point, any one of those last 6 teams can make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. So it's who's going to step up in the last couple.
Yep.
No. Yep. Last half of the season, we're at the midpoint. So the last half of the season, who's going to step up?
Can anybody beat the top 3 teams though? Out of the bottom 3,
top 3 teams.
Yeah. Albany. Let's see. Albany's undefeated, and Kentucky's only loss was to Albany, and the Cats' only loss was to Kentucky. So they're keeping it amongst themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, Albany has a rough schedule. Their last 3 games of the season are at Nashville, at Kentucky, and then Nashville at home. Like that's their last 3 games. Like they're going to go at the very least, they're going to the playoffs tired.
Yeah, beat up.
They do have a couple bye weeks mixed in that. That's over a 5-week period, but still, that's a brutal way to end the season.
And in a week or two, Albany could be clinching up a spot officially. We could be seeing the little numerals or the little numbers next to their name here on a upcoming weekly graphic. So that's crazy in and of itself that this early in the season, we're going to be seeing playoff spots locked up.
Yeah. If they're 7-0,
I think it's going to be 8. I think it'll be 8 now.
Okay. So week or two
after week 8, after they play 8 games, I think if they're, I think it'll be at that point. Don't have the math.
Tim, I think like mathematically they would still be in it based on numbers, but I believe, I could be wrong, I believe that all the teams that they would have to beat all play each other. So there's no statistical way for them to get in. Not 100% sure on that, but I think if they win, there's no statistical way for somebody to bump them out.
Hey, we're arena football YouTubers, not mathematicians, okay?
People remember too, Albany, and I mentioned it before, Albany has won 16 straight, which is regular season games, which is an arena football record.
Yeah.
I think they're tied for most consecutive games, including the playoffs, if I remember correctly. I think it's 18.
I mean, they haven't lost a game in the AF1.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's kind of wild to think. You know, granted, it's not a long history, but in the history of this league, they have never lost a game.
Yeah, their last game lost was the brawl at the mall.
Roll them all.
They could very well finish the season undefeated too, because I don't know if anybody's beaten them.
Yeah, again, I think it comes down to those last three teams. You know, after playing in Nashville in week 11, how are they going to feel going to Kentucky? You know, and then 2 weeks later, how are they going to feel having Nashville come back to their home? Like, that's just, like I said, I mean, hell, it's what Michigan's kind of been through the start of the season. It's tough, you know.
Yeah.
So-
The start of our season was really tough, and now the back end of Albany's season is going to be tough for them. So we'll see. Anything can happen.
Who do you all think has a better shot at Albany, Kentucky, or Nashville?
Nashville.
Yeah.
I think Nashville is still such a good team. That game against the Barrels that they lost was so close, and I think Nashville really kind of, I would say they beat themselves, but they had their opportunity to win that game, and it just, I don't know, Kentucky played them pretty tough, but I think if anybody's going to beat Albany, it's this Nashville team, and I think they look really good.
Well, and Kentucky's just had inconsistency at quarterback. Great play
Right,
by
three
their
quarterbacks.
but inconsistency. I think that's hurt them probably more than anything at this point.
I don't think
This
anybody
week prediction?
expected them to switch quarterbacks 2 weeks ago, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, they've had what? They had one quarterback to start the season, second quarterback, 2 or 3 weeks, and then now this new third quarterback for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and only one of them had any experience prior, I believe. So they're getting great performances out of these guys. So, I mean, you know, great on Kentucky, but yeah, I think the Cats just have they've got the history. You know, again, you got to think they only lost to Albany in the Crown because of missed extra points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, they make those extra points, and you know, it's at worst it's a tie game.
And right now, I think Nashville's got the best kicker in the league. I think Kaplan is playing out of his mind. That game against Minnesota, he was practically hitting everything. He might have one or two missed extra points, but like, he made a couple deuces. He was putting the ball just right in the end zone for his team to get the one. Still weird to say the one instead of a rouge, but it's fine. Got a one, and a couple of ones. At one point, I think, didn't they have like three? They had 3 ones, and I was like, is that a record?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's a record. Is anybody keeping
3
track?
ones.
See, isn't it weird to
3
say,
ones.
Tim? I know. I mean, I
Yes,
want to
it
say
is.
rouge so bad.
Well, no.
You know-
You know what? Okay. To be fair, okay, they're not calling it the Rouge, but the people are calling it the Rogue because people don't know how to spell.
I like what they're
I mean,
going
I
for
don't know
with
how
the
to
one.
spell, but I still call it a rouge.
Well, no, it's
I
not
might
what I mean.
spell it
You
like
know-
rogue.
No, well, okay, yeah, it's okay.
I like what they're going for with the one, but
They should
It
just call it the
doesn't-
Uno. You got the deuce. Why isn't it the Uno?
exactly, it just doesn't flow properly. You know, the ref can't say that's the one. You know, like,
I love saying it like that because it sounds so ridiculous.
yeah,
Yes, they
Adam,
got 3
if you
for
hear
ones.
somebody,
3
if
the
you hear somebody
ones.
call it a rogue, Adam, say, "What's the matter? Don't you speak Canadian?"
What do you mean? Rogue and Rouge are spelled differently. Randy, you know this.
If you know
I
what
know
high
that.
school he went to, that wouldn't matter, Timothy. Come on.
Yeah,
What do you think of predictions for this week? What do y'all think?
Oof.
it's gonna be nice seeing Minnesota on national TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
That's good. That's well deserved. Well deserved. Should be a good game. I feel
think
bad
that's-
for Oceanside because they're crossing the country again,
Hmm.
and they're going into Albany.
Yeah, they might surprise you though.
Oh yeah. The question is with Albany being off a week, will they be rusty? Will it be another one of those instances where they're crap in the first and then they're good in the second half?
but haven't they been doing that for 2 years now?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they did that all
it
last
seems
season.
like when
too.
they
It's
travel
oh,
quite
they're
a
going to
bit, when
get
they
him. They're
travel
going to
quite a
get
bit.
him. And then boom.
At home, they don't have that problem as much though as they have on the road, though. So
Yeah, that's going to be rough on Oceanside. And then, of course, matchup number 3, Washington, Oregon, 3 of 4 here.
And who knows how that game will go. That game is like the Bermuda Triangle of arena football. Like, I don't know. We could think one thing going into that game, and it could be the total opposite. Like, I didn't expect Oregon to get 79 points put up on them last time. Now, this time, I'm sure we're all thinking, well, Washington's got this one right, which just means Oregon's going to come out, play the game of their lives. So it's just the Cascade Clash is just, you can never tell. If you think
These
one
two
way, you should
teams,
probably go the
There's
other.
been a run. There's been a run. There's basically been a series of wins by each of these teams throughout their head-to-head over the last 2 years. I think it was Oregon first 3, Washington last 3, Oregon, and then now it's Washington. So we'll see what happens. But that's another test. How good is Washington, depending on what happens here versus Oregon?
At least show, I mean, consistency, I think, is what you're going to look for if you're Washington. You know, I don't think beating Oregon, I don't think is a statement other than we're being consistent. You know, I don't know about you guys. I think Oregon, I think someone else mentioned this in chat that I got Oregon last on my list for power rankings.
I do too.
Yeah.
I did too.
Unfortunately, yeah, I would put them at the bottom as of right now.
Mm-hmm. And so beating the last place team doesn't give you the big push that you want, but you got to beat them.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it comes down to. You got to beat them. And if they do, that's consistency. It's another notch on Washington's belt, another distance from that 3-point game. Which, sorry, Coach Wells, I keep bringing that up, but that's a big story this year. You know? But
and I
they're doing
I think Minnesota's playoff chances. Well, I think Minnesota will probably make the playoffs, but I think to tell how they're going to play against those other 3 teams. I mean, this is Kentucky, so this is their third of those top 3 teams they're going to play. You know, Albany took care of them. Nashville took care of them. I'd like to see them show a little bit more improvement in life against Kentucky. They let a lot get away from them against Nashville. Otherwise, they were in it for a little bit of that game. That score might be a little misleading, but they were in it for a little bit. But then Nashville just did Nashville things and pulled away. So I'd be curious to see how Minnesota comes out against Kentucky, because I don't know, did Javonte Johnson get hurt? Because he didn't play that last part of the game. I wasn't sure if he got hurt or if he got pulled.
I didn't notice. Yeah, either way, that's a pretty big loss for them because he's a generator, he's a points generator. They still do have to play the Cats and the Barrels again this season too. So for all those other teams behind them, it's not impossible to catch.
True. But I mean, Minnesota's got pieces. They got a lot of guys like their running back, Brooks, right? He's played absolutely out of his mind, like stud. So I don't know if that's the recipe for success, is being a little more run heavy. I mean, they've tried, and we've seen the results. But
they remind me a little of the Storm last year. That they're going to win, they're going to put up some numbers. When it comes down to it, they're probably not going to do much if they make the playoffs, but they're not going to look bad getting there.
That's a good comparison.
You know, a little run heavy, still trying to figure out this arena game, but they're getting there. I like Minnesota's a lot like Washington. I like what the branding. I like what they got going on. They've got good people running the organization. They've got some. It's just, man, get the points, get the wins. That's the one thing you're going to keep needing. So,
I think overall the quality of play by everybody has gotten better as this season has gone along, and and it's a lot better than last year too. So I'm really encouraged by the quality of play, even though some of these teams haven't won a lot of games. The quality of their play has gotten a lot better since week 1.
And the games are way more competitive than they were last year.
Yeah,
just across the board. Bad teams and good teams, it doesn't make a difference. They're still fighting, and that was definitely not the case last season. I think scoring's up on both ends, winning and losing teams. Not drastically, but there were some ugly blowouts, I think, that kind of skewed those results last year.
Yeah.
Washington.
Well, not just Washington. I mean, you figure Billings got destroyed. They only held like 16 or 19 points last year.
Yeah, it was on national TV. You're right.
There was that infamous 20-22 Salina Dodge City game that I still have nightmares about going to that game. Neither kicker could make the end zone. It was bad.
It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but I think coaches finally have learned that yes, you do need a competent kicker. So while it's not perfect, in the early days too, I don't think it was perfect for, with kickers consistently hitting the ball off the net, but that's a part of the game. And I think it's, last year versus this year, it is a huge difference. It's just, let's get some more parity here. I as much as I would like to see Albany run the gauntlet again, somebody beat them. Let's create some memories within this league itself. We already have. I mean, look what happened, how Beaumont won their game this week. So I can't complain. I think they're finally getting the showing that where the AF1 ranks within the arena sphere when it comes to football.
So the three of us on the top here, we're arena football prime. Like that's our main focus. You two at the bottom, your football doesn't matter. I know you guys love the arena game.
Yes,
that's why we have you here. But
yes, we do.
But you guys cover everything.
Yeah.
We try. There's a lot.
There's a lot. But
the world of football is huge, Scott.
Yes, it is. 800 videos. Huge.
I'm wondering the next episode of the IAFL.
Yeah. Well,
we've been invested in arena football since 2000. So this is 26 years that we've been invested in arena football. We love arena football. The others are okay, but arena is where we started. It's the original game, and we love it. So we were so glad when it came back a couple of years ago. Then halfway through the season, we weren't so happy that it came back, and then it got better, and
here we are.
And here we are. We're very happy again.
Well, so my question for you guys, and I want to hear from the chat as well. Anybody that's watching this, wherever you happen to be watching it, where would you put the current top three AF1 teams when you compare it to all of the indoor football world?
Boy, that's tough. I mean,
when you're dealing with too specific, but
it's always tough because you see a lot of people out on the internet who think they know which teams would beat which across leagues, but the rules are different. The nets are a factor, and that's why I always try to categorize everything there's arena football, and then there's indoor football. Everything else is indoor football because if you don't play with the rebound nets, to me, the way I was raised by that guy over there, that if they don't have rebound nets, it's not arena football. You might play with some similar rule sets, and I'm not trying to discount that. It's just, it's not arena football. There's no rebound nets. That's a huge factor in that style of game. So it's hard to say, but I feel like Albany would obviously, I won't say wipe the floor with other teams in other leagues, but they'd probably be fine. More than fine. I think Nashville would also be fine, if not a top 2 or 3 team in these other leagues. And Kentucky, oh boy, I think Kentucky would be just riding that line for me. There might be a couple other teams in some other leagues that might give Kentucky a run for their money, but
I know Vegas has got a good team going on there in the IFL, and
why is Southwest Kansas so good? Is it because of what they went through last year and knowing how to get it to make an actual arena roster? I mean, is that why they're undefeated? Is that why the NAL championship is going through them? I mean,
could be.
How would they fare today in AF1?
I think Southwest Kansas and AF1 might be in between that Minnesota spot and that Kentucky spot-ish right now, somewhere up in there.
Well, you can't tell me that the Southwest Kansas team is better than last year without Jalen Morton. just period.
You can't go based off of record. I agree with you on that one. Because it's funny. Them and Albany had some great matchups last year.
You also had a blowout.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just can't, like, it's so hard to compare. But I don't know. I look at these top 3 teams. Now the others, mix them wherever you want. But I think these top 3 teams, in my opinion, are just, I feel like they're almost heads and tails above everybody. I think a team like Vegas would give them a little bit of a push. I don't think Southwest Kansas would, even if they are undefeated. Now, if Jalen Martin was still there, maybe. But I don't know. I think the top of this league is solid.
Yeah, I agree.
Everybody needs to get there. We'll see. As I said, if Washington continues the way they are with the continued scoring, I think we're going to be a little bit more happy. I'm sure the ownership will be more happy there too.
Now we're going to beat up on Oregon now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you get what you get for now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. We need some more teams out west. It's a thought. We hear bits here and there. It's like, where is this league going to go? As Jerry said last night, they're going to go slow, which is not something that happened before when it came to arena football. It was like, oh, you have $500,000 here's your team.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me wonder, where will it match? Where will these teams? Obviously, it comes down to ownership group, but
it's
I'm sure that
tough.
could be a topic too, because you've seen with all the announcements for the other leagues of where they're planning on going, and who would have thought potentially there's going to be a team in East Rutherford. I can only imagine if that's the case.
Yeah.
So, and it won't be the Izod Arena. Let's make that clear. They're not going to the Izod Arena.
There's no way in hell. No,
they're playing in the mall. If they make this team happen, they're playing in the mall. Now, I've gone on record and say I think it can work there.
They call it the American Dream Entertainment Center.
Yeah. Well, I've said before, you can make a team work there. I truly believe you can make a team work there, but you've got to have the right type of ownership. You got to have somebody that's so focused.
You're not going to make any money. You're not going to make any money on season tickets.
Yeah.
No.
But with all the potential sponsors in that one building, there is no reason, if you've got a good enough sales team, that you can't just rack in all the sponsors in the world in that building. Pay all your bills of sponsorships. I mean, but you got to have the right kind of ownership group that can hit the pavement hard in that building and make it work. So,
yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't have a team. Scott, you've been to many games. I know, Josh, you have. And obviously, Snow Squared, you guys have too. If Randy and Adam, if you guys were specifically to give a comment about the what you guys have seen when it comes to the Arsenal and stuff like that, give us one positive and give us one negative that you yourselves have either seen or noticed or whatever it may be.
You go first, Adam, and then I'll rebut whatever you say.
Look, I think the biggest positive for Michigan, I think, is there is definitely from the ownership down a belief, and trust, which, and George has been very transparent. He's not happy about losing the games he's lost, but he's put a lot of faith in Sean, and I think that's refreshing in this type of league where, you lose 5 games, that coach is, never mind. Nope, we're moving on. Something's got to change. But he understands that they're an expansion team and a lot's got to change. But I think that's a positive, having an owner that understands that and is willing to ride the rough patch and, not discard the whole season because of a few rough games, is a big positive for me. I think having that ownership group is the big positive. The negative I've seen at these Michigan games, I'll be completely honest, is unlike Kentucky, which we were at Kentucky, the Michigan merch has been very, lack for a better word, non-existent.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've had an issue with a vendor because, Dad, you've been to the last couple games. Merch started off, they had like a vendor, and then all of a sudden there's nothing at the games for fans to buy T-shirts unless it's being thrown into the stands, I think. So that's definitely something they got to just work on. I don't know if there's a plan for the rest of the year to get that turned around. I haven't talked to George about that, but that's my negative so far is they need more merch. I think they need something else like that for people to represent their team and not just have to go to Royal Retros, which is putting out great product, by the way.
Yeah, the merchandise is a big problem. Like you said, we went to Kentucky and they had every kind of souvenir that you could think of. These coins were things that we got while we were there. Yep, we love these coins. They were made by a guy down there who had cutting boards with the Kentucky Barrels logo etched on it, and he does like laser etching on cups and all kinds of stuff. And these were fantastic. And the first couple of games at home, they had a T-shirt and hat vendor, and it was some guy that they knew that was creating these things, and he created some special T-shirts based on the logo. They were great, and they were there for the first couple of games. And then after that, there was we didn't get all the details, but there was some kind of falling out with that vendor, and they're not there anymore. They've been replaced by a beer stand where they used to sell the hats and T-shirts. So that's a little distressing. But I think the positive thing about this team is they are becoming a representative of their head coach. I mean, they're buying into what Sean Liotta is selling, and everybody is behind, and they're trying to do their best to implement the plan that he has. And so that's the big positive for me, is that they're all behind the coach.
Quick shout out, Murphy Engraving.
Oh,
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yep.
Got mine right here.
Hey.
It's funny you guys say that. Have you seen the new tumblers that Royal Retros is selling?
Yeah, that's great.
No, I haven't.
All
Randy,
teams,
hit the affiliate link, Randy. Come on, what are you doing, bud?
all teams, including AF1.
That looks good.
Well,
I'll tell you one thing I got to do this last Barrels games. First time I've brought it out. I got one of those loud cups. I don't know if you guys have seen those.
I've heard about those. Yeah.
Yeah. What's it called? Billings had them. Could not get that name out. Billings had them, and they actually sold them, and they're great. They're not as loud as you'd think they would be, at least, especially not in arena. My cowbell was way louder, but it's fun. So that's something, and I know they do team things. So I know we get team folks watching this, execs watching this. Reach out to those loud cup folks. Get your sticker on there. Start selling those, because a solid buzzing every time your defense is on the field is not the worst thing in the world to have. So.
Do we need to bring back the Thunder Sticks? Remember we'd get the Thunder Sticks from Net Wireless or whatever. So maybe
I
we need to
hated
bring
those
back.
Yeah.
They're giving them away
We
in
had them in Nashville last
next
week.
home game. Last week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
didn't care.
Either that or the Vuvuzelas or the Hornets, whatever the hell you want to call them.
type.
Yeah.
I had a cowbell from a drum set, and and I found out that the threads on the back of the cowbell fit perfect. A little stool leg from Home Depot made a nice little handle. Beat the hell out of that thing, and you could hear me across the arena and back.
Do we really need more cowbell?
Yes.
I don't know.
The answer is yes, all the time, always, Randy.
See
what I gotta work with?
Oh, I made some people angry over the years with that thing. League wide. I take Tim's question, expand it to league wide for all, everybody here. What's the best and worst things? What are the things you want to see most improved, and what have you liked so far?
I'd like to see somebody beat Albany.
Then there does need to be
Speaking
different.
of,
There needs to be.
Wait, is that Jeff? Is that Jeff Levac? However they say it on the broadcast.
Tim, what are you thinking?
I'm liking the partnership with Vice again. I'm happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
HTN, I understand that with a couple of the other locations, it's not the case where it looks like it's never going to be an HTN broadcast, one of them being Oceanside. But that's okay, at least it's still on YouTube. I don't know. I just want good games. That's the main thing. I just want good games. Still, for me, the plus is still league headquarters. I've always said I think Jerry's been around for as long as he have. How long have you been around, Jerry? How long have you been doing this? 40 years.
40 years.
It sounds like Jerry's trying to, and I said this a couple of times, I think Jerry's trying to right the wrongs that he may have done in years past. But he also has a lot of good ownership behind him in the league headquarters. He has Gary. He has Christie. If you were to add up the years that they've been involved in arena football, you'd be well over 100 years of experience. So it's just a matter of getting better. As I said, it's not bringing in an ownership group just to bring in an ownership group. And after Scott and I talked with Jacob in Minnesota and the others that we've talked to, it's been a very transparent, and it's cool to see. It's cool to see that a lot of these guys are invested as much as they are, not necessarily monetarily, but just invested. Period. Yeah, because did I? And this is not a flex, guys. Did I ever think that I would get an official game ball? No. But I can thank the ownership group over in Minnesota for being able to get one. It's almost like the old days, guys. I don't know what Randy, what you would think about this. So there are a lot of similarities to the early days, but yet the ownership groups seem to be a little bit better.
Yeah, it's beginning to have that retro AFL feel to it. The games. The way the players feel about things. I do get that feel. And that all started with last year's Arena Crown game. Adam and I were sitting there watching that game, and we thought, man, this is the old style arena football. I mean, back and forth and take it to the last play of the game. You don't know who's going to win. And they're both in it till that last play. And it's continued this season with these teams. And it's very encouraging. I love that.
I think the standard of play across the league is my big positive. Everything has been up. Yes, there's been some lower scoring games, but guys, we have seen how many dudes go flying over those walls this year. I can't even keep counting anymore. It's been insane. And
it's not because the walls are made of cow fencing either.
Right. Yeah. But we're seeing guys who are not lacking effort, and these guys are going out there, and I kind of don't like saying the phrase, the ball never dies. These players are just going to the end of every play. They're not giving up on any of these plays. And I just want to say, across the board, they've done something right where they've got everybody at least playing on the field wise in the same direction. I think the quality of play is so much better than last year. I could probably go down a list of negatives. I'll try not to be negative, Nancy, but since we were talking about it earlier, how about we just, I keep harping on this. Can we give some of these announcer guys 8 bullet points? Just 8 bullet points to start a broadcast, I think would clean up so much, confusion. Like Jerry Kurz, how long have you been in the league? Oh, it's right here on my piece of paper. I should have known that beforehand. Or saying Jeff Levac's name right. Like just the tiny things.
It's not Levac.
Timothy, it is not. It is
that's good.
It is Hefe Levac. But
well, how about there's a 1-point rouge and a 2-point rouge?
Yeah.
that too. Just a little 8-point bullet point piece of paper, little piece of paper. Mm-hmm. All they would need, and I think we could clean some stuff up.
They're gonna replay the play on fan interference. How dare they?
I know the old AFL used to do a really good job of with the rules, like explaining them on the broadcast from like the start, especially for new fans. So I think that's something they really need to get better at. So
they've done that a couple of times. I wish they would do that. I get it. We're familiar with this game, but some game is going to be some fans' first game, and I do think for a while now, especially being a second-year league technically with a lot of history behind it, I think we gotta still promote it like that. Like that's what, even on the TNN days, I think I remember them still posting, here's the rules, here's some basic things to know so you can sit there and at least enjoy the game. You might not know all the nuance. There might be stuff you'll learn along the way, but here is the basic stuff to get you rolling. It's like watching a CFL game. Like I always have to remember watching a CFL game to flip a switch in my brain to remember, oh yeah, 12 guys on the field. There's different sets of rules. Different guys can go in motion. Like that's what we love about the world of football here is there's all these different rule sets. It's all different. But it's all football at the end of the day.
Well, and it doesn't have to be totally canned. It could actually be, the first defensive penalty, the first jack out of the box. Okay, this is a perfect time to explain. This is the jack linebacker. His responsibility is wall to wall, 5 yards deep, unless he pump fakes or gets out of the pocket. Boom. Right. You throw that in there when that flag happens, because if you tell them ahead of time, no one's going to know by the time the flag actually hits.
Yeah, they need
trust me. You know how many times last night I wanted to text or DM the guys in Oceanside saying, "What the here's the information that you really need to pass along." It's the days where I could email Seth or Ari and say, "Hey, by the way," that type of thing. So, but can we get Eli in arena, please?
Yes, please.
Because I feel bad for him because does he not have a clock where they are? Because sometimes I'm wondering, I feel it's like, Eli, do you know where we are in the game? And I feel that they don't have, they can't hear in-arena sounds. I don't think they can. Could be me thinking that, but I don't think they have in-arena sounds, because how many times has he said, I can't hear what the ref just announced? So, and I understand with Eli.
I do love how he says, though, from here in the arena, it like when you're not there, man.
No, but he's good at that. As I said, I mean,
here's my suggestion.
That's one down, I would say, for this year. I like having Eli on all the national broadcasts, but
yeah.
Well, here's my suggestion for the announcers. You know how Jerry Kurz gets together with all the owners before the season starts, and they do that AF1 college. They get together in Chicago and they talk about this and that. This is how you promote this, blah, blah, blah. They should have an AF1 announcers college. Bring in the people that are going to be calling these games and maybe show some games and say, here's an example of this. This is what the jack out of the box is, and whatever. They should do more to help these announcers. They can't just throw it out there and say, well, here you go. Here's your local guys, and with no training.
They just need like one of those old 1980s high school videos where you put in the VCR, the tape into the VCR, and they play it in a 4:3 aspect ratio. And it's just, hi, I'm Tim Capper, and I'm going to tell you, Mr. Announcer, how to talk about arena football. And then you can do a bunch of shots
Peter
of Tim
Puck
putting
in
his leg
hockey,
up like Captain Morgan on
NBC.
We had somebody bring this up, and I struggle with this one as well. Fans being able to keep the balls again. You keep the ball, but you got to throw the player back. That's how it was for years and years.
Right.
And I know these balls are expensive.
Yeah, that's changed. I really, as I said, out of all of us that are on the screen here, I don't know. With your insider information, Randy and Adam, have you been able to get a Arsenal game ball yet? There it is. Okay.
But in full disclosure, it was more of a gift from the coach to my stepdaughter for her first game.
Again, I agree. I think that's how it's happened. I think for most of us that have one, and I agree with you guys. I'm curious to know, what is the difference? Maybe it's cost. What's the difference between what it was with Spalding versus these guys from Team Issue? I don't know what the difference is.
Well, every ball this year has got the team's logo on it, whereas in the past it was just a generic AFL or AF1 ball.
And maybe they need to just do they just need to go back to that? Does it just need to be? Don't get me wrong. I love having a football with the Arsenal logo on it, and it's cool that they also get the sponsor on it. But do they just need to go back to official AF1 ball?
Well, remember also yours is with yours has the Bet Rivers logo on it too, right, Adam?
Mine does. This one does not. So this one I think was before the Bet Rivers.
Interesting. So. Okay, because Bet Rivers is a national sponsor, and it's on. I guess we could say most of the game balls now. I guess I didn't know that. That's cool.
So this must have been an early batch before, maybe the Bet Rivers balls. So because I was wondering that too when we got that. So maybe
interesting.
But yeah, mine's from last year. So
yeah, I'm curious. The league would be able to if we could just get some idea from that. I mean, that is a marketing thing. It's one thing we didn't ask. Did we bring it up last show when it came to game balls, Scott?
Because
marketing guy?
No, actually, I don't think we did.
I just think, I mean, the quality of football is great, but one of the other leagues, and I'll cover up logos. the quality of ball is drastically different, and I get why you could throw 50 of these into the stands and probably not be hurting for it.
Is that a Biden ball? Eden?
I will not confirm nor deny what
okay,
ball
so that's
is.
a yes. I don't know how to pronounce it, but remember also, the last year of the Arena Football League in 19, they were with the same company.
Mm-hmm.
They were with the same company that they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just something of the old game that's missed, drastically missed.
Yeah.
Unless the football budget was just way too out of control, and maybe that was a factor. I don't know how much money they were losing with balls in the stand. How many balls truly get sent up to the stands?
More than you realize.
Well, it's funny. It's that, and I joked about this last year when finding out that each team had their own game ball. It's like Pokemon. You got to try to catch them all. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell you're going to ever get a complete set.
It's not impossible, Tim. I mean, as a Pokemon collector myself,
I would think this, and maybe it's something that the league needs to do. Now, yes, Royal Retros does sell an autograph ball now, which is cool.
Well, and a lot of teams will swap you out the game ball for an autograph ball. Mm-hmm. So you're not walking away with nothing.
Oh, yeah. But
it's not the same.
Maybe has the league thought, and maybe this is good, why not sell them on the team issue store?
Mm-hmm. Never understood.
You know what I mean? Yeah. At least they'd be available to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jeff, tell Sam to keep it in bounds, bud. 30 balls a game. That's insane.
Yeah, and they're expensive. Have a talk with him. Like Brian said, and I'm assuming this is right. That sounds right. It's an all-other ball, 5 times what the other league uses. I don't doubt that at all.
What was Spalding? Come on. Okay, I mean, Brian, maybe I'm sure he's on point, but what's the difference between that and Spalding?
No, they were expensive back then too. But in Spalding times, we had
and I don't want to talk. And I'm not talking the ball. Yeah, I'm not talking the balls from 2 years ago. Those were a joke. Those synthetic balls were absolutely a joke. That's why the league switched to the alpha balls.
It's disappointing. Yeah, but it is what it is. I mean, the economics of this game is different than it was in the past. That's ultimately, I think, what we're looking at.
At least give an option to keep it.
Yeah.
Even if there is again, Jeff will probably be able to speak to this more than we know, because obviously there is more of a cost than we actually thought when it comes to these balls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So.
I would like to see the last game of the season. If your team's not going to the playoffs, let them keep the balls to go into the stand that last game. You might get more people to come to the game if they know that they could walk away with a ball from that game.
Game ball.
A ball free for all?
Yeah. There you go.
Think about this though. Of all the balls that are there, what was left for Southwest Kansas, for those other teams? Where are the Corpus Christi balls? Wait, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
I think this pretty much nails it. You grew up, I used to sit front row in the end zone, right underneath the net, and especially Kansas City, a big bucket with a beat on the end of it. I was making noise. I raised hell, but when that ball went through the slack net, I reached my bucket out and the ball dropped straight in, and it was beautiful.
It's the games that I remember the most too. When I went to the game in '98 in Ottawa, a friend of mine, and nobody knew because it was just really it was a regular season game that was being played between New Jersey and Florida. Because my friend and I had gone to so many games, we knew we could keep the ball, and he came away with 2. That's the thing, because nobody knew, and that's one of the things that we remember the most is there being in Ottawa, seeing first ever regular season game in Canada, but yet also coming away with 2 game balls. It's something you're going to remember, and that's almost 30 years ago when this occurred.
Well, that kind of fits with Jeff's comment.
Jesus.
Coward.
Don't let him comment anymore.
Oof, Randy. Jeff, you can comment as much as you like, sir.
Joshua, where are you at with all this? What's your highs and lows for the league?
Highs and lows for the league. Yeah, one thing I was going to say, Adam kind of hit on that a little bit. I think their marketing has been pretty good. I like the ball never dies. I really like that slogan. And I feel like their commercials kind of give a more retro, kind of the AFL feel. I like what I would have saw on NBC back in the day. So I really like that, and I like the kind of the direction they're going there. So I think that's probably one of my highs that's not been mentioned by anybody else. So.
It's been long enough that we could come on. You have Jeff Fisher. Okay. And maybe you could easily use Double J also too. It's been long enough that they could recreate that ad that they did for NBC with Elway and Warner about the balls off, explaining the game of arena football. It's been long enough that that could be recreated. And can you imagine what they could do today with today's technology? It's just a matter of creating it.
They can AI slop the heck out of that, Tim. I agree.
Oh, God, please, God, no. Actually shoot the damn thing.
Double J coming off the top of the nets.
Well, no, if anybody remembers, I'm sure everybody here has seen the ad. It was perfect because, mind you, yes, it also introduced NBC, who are going to be watching it on NBC, so it ran on national TV. But still, it's that type of thing where sometimes it is good to look to the past. There are some great ideas from the past. I understand you want to look forward, but that would be a perfect way to explain the game again. A perfect way to explain that, to explain this game, especially with the Nets, because they talk about everything there.
Yeah, the one thing I wanted to add to that, and kind of more piggyback on what you said, Tim, about the positive side of what I've liked to see this year, or what I like that I have seen this year is the ownership. So I mentioned a lot about this guy gets arena football. Yeah, one of the guys we always talk about, this guy gets arena football is I'm doing good on words today. Coach James, Ron James. He gets arena football. He gets the culture of it. And, he's never coached for one of my teams. I've had not that many interactions with him, but the second time I saw him, hey, Scott, how are you doing? It's great to see you again.
Yeah.
Clicked the second he saw me. And, I wasn't doing shows like this back then. So there's guys that get it. And I feel like our new ownership groups, these new owners that have come into this league, they get the culture of this game. And it's nice to see that from an ownership group, because we kind of lost that for a while. We didn't really have that in 2019. We sure didn't have anything going on for 2024. But these new guys we brought in, they're good guys that care about their community, care about where they are. They care about this game. I mean, I see comments, oh, Nashville and Albany, they should just come to the IFL. They have no interest. They have no interest in playing indoor football. They want to be in the AF1. They want to be playing the arena game. And they've said many times, this is where we want to be. And like I said, they get it. And it's so refreshing to actually see that across the board. I can't think of an ownership group that isn't that way right now. But negative wise, broadcast. I think Tim, you kind of nailed it. Getting all the teams on the same page with the broadcast setup. I think that's probably been my biggest the biggest knock.
Still props to HDN though. Again, still huge props to HDN. No, it's not just because they're Canadian, but huge props to them because to come in, whatever however they were brought into the league, it's worked well. I think it's worked well, and I think it's worked better than Evergreen. They've been very open. I mean, they've put other, just like Evergreen did, they put other segments and stuff like that on their AFL page. AF1 page.
Mm-hmm.
So they're open to ideas.
Mm-hmm.
They're open to thinking about asking Scott and I to do a halftime segment. They're just testing different things.
And that's what I'm saying is I want to see them more.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Beaumont using them. I want to see Oceanside using it. I want to know that whenever I turn on an AF1 game, I know exactly what I'm going to see.
Yeah,
the production's the same, the score bugs are the same. That I think like we said with Darren a couple weeks ago, I want the McDonald's feel. No matter what McDonald's I go into, I order a hamburger or a Big Mac, I know exactly what I'm getting. It might be garbage, but I know exactly what I'm getting. And I want that for our broadcast as well. I think that would make things just feel better across the board.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like they're open to a lot of stuff too. Try some new things on the broadcast if they're able to. I honestly, I would think if they were to try some new things, they would either be Minnesota, Kentucky, Michigan, Albany. Would try some new things where it's been, the broadcasts have been basically the same every game. So.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I got one more negative I want to throw out there. I want to see consistent netting.
Yeah.
Yes.
The ball was bouncing off the net in Minnesota beautifully. It hit that net and it was a trampoline. That ball just shot back. And the other venues you go and it catches and it drags in the rebound net and hits the iron and bounces up, which is cool. I like seeing it hit the iron, but the action it got off in Minnesota's nets were perfect in my opinion. It hit that and it just shot back. I want to see that.
Still want to know where the hell Bowman got their version of the nets.
There's quite a few of those out there. We just kept tracking them, finding old versions.
That's version. Yeah, that was the second version that the league came out with. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I've said maybe San Antonio. They got theirs from San Antonio or something like that.
That'd be my guess. I'm sure Iowa still has their old ones. I'm sure San Jose probably still has their old ones stored somewhere.
Albany at one point had 2 sets. So
it could be Jacksonville's old set too. Well, no, Jacksonville's new set. Their old set was the radio tower. The new set for the NAL.
The radio tower ones are the best. Those are the best.
Yes.
Well, especially the new ones. They're so light. They're so much better.
I know. Such night and day. It's crazy. If Jim Foster would have been able to make them that light back in the day, you can imagine how much money they would have saved.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
By the way, speaking of, props to Jerry for mentioning Jim Foster last night in his interview. He gave him full props about the game. So
we haven't heard his name in quite a while.
No.
It's not from a league level.
Yeah, and that's not right.
There may be reasons. I know with Jeff Levesque working for the league, he might be able to give some more insight off air. I would imagine. I don't think he wants to. If there is any dirty laundry, I don't think he wants to put it out right now. DM us or join us after the show for off air, Jeff.
I can send you.
I'm sure there's a reason, but yes. I wish the league had given props for the 40th anniversary of the test game. It should have not have just been just us to do it. I wish they would have done that. But it's just arena football. It's not, again, what started it all. Manila envelope and Jim Foster's multiple maxed out credit cards.
And a U.S. patent.
Yes, that too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what started everything. I would love to know what it was. I don't know. Maybe I don't think there is that they've not been told to talk about it, but I wish sometimes they would just talk about history. You don't have to mention teams.
Right.
You don't have to.
Yep.
It goes to the Albany record.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to. We're just the NFL still talks about the old time teams that they used to have, Canton Bulldogs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
They've not existed in how
Triangles.
long? Yeah, there you go. There's one other one too.
The Ravens can't talk about the Browns though. So,
You know, unless they're playing them the next week.
yeah.
But yeah, just
I think this league and where we're at. Sorry, Tim. I'll let you finish.
No, go. No, I'm done, dude. Go ahead. I don't mind being.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say. I was like, look, where we're sitting right now. I think this league is in a good spot, and the trajectory is going up. And yes, there's gonna be like I get it. Like I nitpick a lot of stuff on our shows, and I understand this is a second-year league, but a lot of these complaints we have coming out it's because guys, we know how good this product can be because the ceiling for this league, I'm sorry, is so much higher than these other leagues that are out there. And I like those other leagues. I enjoy going to those games. It's different football than the arena game that I grew up loving, but there's just this league has got such a ceiling. And when it gets there, it's going to be incredible. If it gets there, I get it. We got time. I'm not saying this is going to happen next year, the year after, but down the line, this league, I can't even reach the ceiling. It's how high
is the limit.
Sky is the limit for this league. And, you know, they just got to keep doing a lot of the little things. And I think this faithfulness and a lot of these ownership groups they're bringing along, they're actually doing their due diligence and making sure we're getting the right people in place has really been to their benefit. And yes, during the offseason, us fans have done a lot of complaining about where's the social media? Where's the this? Where's the that? Why aren't we announcing teams yet? Like, granted, but, you know, the league has had a plan. And I think by this point now in the season, we can look back on all that and say, okay, yeah, they did have a plan or plans for a lot of this stuff that we complain about. I still miss
Jerry has flipped its script. He's seen what he's done in the past. He's learned from the past with all the different leagues that he's been involved in, indoor and arena. As I said, to me, it's like he's trying to right a wrong, which I'm happy with because you don't need to, you can be transparent, but sometimes you just need to hold something back. You know what I mean? You don't have head coaches or owners blabbing about information like there was last year, and that's happened before in the stuff past too. Things being kept under wraps, which I think is what I don't mind because it keeps the league in the news cycle, and that's the other part of it, a part of marketing. You don't have to always say what's coming up next. You know, these aren't the days of the old Arena Ball magazine where they said, well, we may go to markets X, Y, Z. No.
Who is that, Tim?
Comes out. Z.
Oh, okay. God, he says weird stuff sometimes. Must be the Canadian in him.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. I agree that the league does need to keep some things quiet, not make them public until it's, you know, absolutely, you know, written in stone that this is the way it's going to be. But can't they let us podcasters in on some of that ahead of time? I mean, we won't say anything.
Shut up, Randy.
No, actually, okay. To be fair, Adam, I kind of agree with what your dad is saying because you have people who have been a part of new media for the longest periods of time. You know, I've been doing new media for arena football and other stuff since 2001. You know, you guys have been, you know, the world of football has been around for 20 years. We were, you know, podcasting before podcasting was a thing. They know our reputation. As an example, they wouldn't have asked Scott and I to do what we were doing for the couple of weeks that we did. We loved it if they didn't trust us. It's a matter of what can they let us know early where all the T's have been crossed, the I's have been dotted. It's about to be potentially announced the next day. What happens if something happens and they have to wait, which we saw. I think we saw that with quite a few things this offseason, which is fine. But they also want to make sure that they don't get screwed, which I get to. And my thought is this: you can call us new media, new media reporters. You can call us whatever you want to call us. I think it's a matter of trusting us in order to keep the information there without it leaking. I think it's just a matter of, we all know this, guys. Sometimes it's who can report it first.
Yeah.
The league needs to trust it. It's a matter of they would be a source, like it would be for any newspaper. You have to be trusted by your source, and you got to make sure you don't screw over your source. I mean, does it mean that they won't throw us a bone? Doesn't mean they won't throw us a bone in the future. But again, I think it comes down to everything and what they can say too, by the way, because if there are some legalese that we can't mention that we don't know about, there's no way in hell they'll tell us for reasons.
Well, let's throw out a hypothetical out there.
I would love to have that type of bone where we could break something.
Yeah, well, like so, throw out a hypothetical. Let's say, hey, the league puts out, hey, we're gonna put a team in Kalamazoo. We're gonna next year we are gonna have a team for sure in Kalamazoo. They've got the owner in place. The owner's got all the finances. Everything's good, but they haven't nailed down that arena deal. Well, once you've gone public with it, now the arena can say, oh, well, everybody's expecting you to play here, so rent just went up $10,000.
Right.
So everyone wants to know. Everyone wants to know now. Yeah. But you can really screw things up if you get stuff out too soon.
Yeah, we've been told a few things in confidence, and we never said a word about it. I mean, Adam knew something before I even knew about it. He said that he wouldn't even tell me because he knew it was hush hush, and I didn't find out till much later. But yeah, I mean, all they got to do is say, "Hey, this is not for public release, but here's what's going on." That's all I want.
Yep.
Embargoes happen. As I said, I think there's a lot of stuff that the league wants to tell us. I think we've been teased with a lot of stuff off air and on air. But that's all that it is because everything is not finalized. So
until it is, it isn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a better job of that this go around.
Oh yeah. And I think going into the next off season, I think a handful of us hopefully will be a little more, all right, let's just let them do their thing. And I'm not going to freak out about no news. Maybe sometimes no news is good news while stuff is working behind the scenes.
I got one. I got one that I just thought of. Stats program. We know there's one out there. I think we got the things from Minnesota, the links from Minnesota, or one of the, and it's the stats program with the link. I'm sorry, but there needs to be some sort of improvement when it comes to the league website and this stuff. If you're going to have these stats programs available for people who want to watch the game that way, make the link available. Is it Minnesota? Who is it? Who released the ad? The link?
That one link was from Minnesota's AF1 or their Facebook account. I forget which game it was. They put up a link and it was that live stats, and I don't know how accurate it ended up being, but it was available for people.
I would love that too. And it goes to the question. We'll go with the national broadcast. Does Eli have this information in front of him? You know what I mean? Everything can make everything better. All the broadcasts better, especially when you have the live stats in front of you. Now, yes, they have to be correct.
Yeah.
But it's something else. I mean, I understand. Again, I know skeleton crew in the head office. I get that. But it's just a wish. And maybe this is even a bigger thing because it seems to be in indoor arena football is becoming less and less. Let's get the first league media guide since 2016. Even if it's a PDF version.
Yeah. A QR code you can get at the game. We've seen our local college, Western Michigan. You go to the game, it's no longer programs, it's no longer that stuff. It's just a QR code when you go into the games. Maybe that is
Exactly.
the route they could go.
Yeah.
And with the stats thing, I want to jump on that real quick, Tim. I'm not going to go on a whole thing about
need
stats,
this.
Jeff.
We don't need this.
I need that.
I would love
that.
that. I've got that. I've got that.
Rainey's
one. I
got
like
3
that.
of those. I loved those books. But
Oh, I
anyway,
do too. I got a ton also, but I also have them. It's also easy also to check if it's in PDF format, because then you're able to do a search and find something almost immediately.
Right. Yep.
that would be nice. Because I missed the days when Dad would cover the Rampage for Arena Fan.
Arenafan.com.
Yep. We would. I would meet him down on the field after the game, and he would always make sure when he left the press box, he would come down with printed off stats from the game. Right there, I could look and see who had the game. Like, what was the stats for the game, and they were right there by the end of the game.
Mhm.
And that would be nice to even know in arena, like what happened.
Yeah.
And they've had to make adjustments this season.
I
They
get
haven't been dead right when they've been, but they are getting better. I will give them.
Yeah.
Give them.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
They are getting better
100%.
about getting the stats out. It's again room for improvement, and it was real bad at the beginning of the season.
And I'm thankful that that's the type of stuff we're nitpicking as opposed to players not getting paid and teams, not making it to games or folding or
Cattle
whatever that
fencing.
we've had to deal with in the past. Yeah, like these are problems I would rather have than those other problems. So I am thankful for that. I don't want that to,
Wire hanger net systems.
We nitpick because we love, right?
Because we care.
and we know how good this league can be. Like that's, and I think that always comes down to it. Like, why else would, after all these years, would we still be wanting to get on a YouTube channel and talk about this league if we didn't care deeply about it and its success and promoting it? We're not getting paid by the league to do this. Like, we do it because we love it. We want more people to join.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, 100% transparent. After 24, I was done. I was literally done. Wasn't for Scott and what I saw with the league, I wouldn't have come back. Because I was just fed up. I'm sure everybody else was.
It was tough.
Yeah.
So, but I can't, I have to thank Scott. I got to thank Scott and what the league has proven in order to bring a lifer back. So,
Oh,
But we're glad you're here. So thank you, Scott.
No, and I'm incredibly lucky to still have Tim in my pocket here. I get off the rails. I get all ADD brain, and Tim brings me right back in. Helps keep these shows on track. So I greatly appreciate having Tim. He's our
Randy. You need to learn a thing or two from Tim to keep me on the track.
I've
He's
tried.
not a miracle worker. Give him a break.
I'm so tired. I've had it up to here. I'm headed up to here. I'm just.
Oh no,
about
he's
out.
done.
oh, that's done. Yeah.
But I'm also going to throw my wish list, my arena wish list. Something I've been asking for years. I want an official defensive stat of the stop. I want that to be
There's
an
Scott.
official arena stat.
Just FYI. Get it
Yeah.
to him.
I already did.
Okay.
I already did. Check your email if you haven't. No, I want to see the unofficial defensive stop as a statistic. You get a field goal, you get half a stop, you get a turnover, however you do it, no score, full stop. I think that probably be the single most important statistic in arena football from a defensive perspective, if you can get that out there.
Yep. I agree with that.
So,
many
and it wouldn't be
things,
hard to
like-
chart.
Things can, sky's the limit. If the partnership again, and go back to HTN, the technology's there. Do we ever get that goal line cam? Do we ever, finally right that quote unquote wrong when it came with the New York Dragons and Philadelphia Soul back in the day?
Great brackets.
Yeah.
I still remember that play.
So now there are a lot of positives. There are a lot of positives, and this is. I don't want people coming in here and watching the show and say, "Oh, the guys are just brown nosing." We're not. We have enough experience between these 5 people here it doesn't equate what Gary and Jerry and the others have, Christine have, but there's enough here. You can have a version of old AFL, of old arena and new arena all together on these 5 screens. And it's just it's a new look. Again, coverage has expanded so much. I was just audio. Everybody knows this. That was just audio. I did almost 20 years of audio. It finally got into video.
I was watching some. This got brought up. Put a GoPro. I was watching some UFL this weekend. Well, actually watching our buddy playing for Columbus there.
Oh yeah.
And Jalen Morton. And one of the things I noticed is how much better. In this case, it was the ref cam, but essentially a helmet cam. How much better that footage got, the stability and whatnot. But we've got a guest that just showed up, so I need to pull him in.
It's getting kind of crowded out here.
It is, but this is a good crowd. Jeff, welcome. How are you doing?
What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
With no hat on. I'm so used to seeing his hair. There we go. You rarely see Jeff without a hat on.
It's new. So I thought we could talk.
No, there's no flex. No flex there at all.
What's up, gentlemen?
By the way, Jeff, I have to ask you this. As far as I know, you guys having the removable top on your rings is an arena football first. That's epic, dude. That is amazing.
It's beautiful.
Does it turn into a locket? Does it turn into a locket also?
So we can get those for some of the owners' wives actually prefer the locket. So this would basically be the locket, but if you look close enough, it's actually our field.
That's cool.
So
it's beautiful.
Yeah, this is I've gotten pretty good at designing these, here in Albany. Just considering I've never been tackled, never had to go over the wall. I'd have no business having these, but here they are. So
they look better in Saginaw colors.
I'm with Chris. I'd totally lose it.
By the way, it's a magnet and a latch for the top.
That's what I thought.
Okay,
that's cool.
I'm not going to say who it was, but one of the front office guys was like, "We're gonna have to keep an eye on those and make sure nobody's using them for embargoed goods inside the ring."
Oh my God.
I was like, "It's not the '80s. We're okay."
You'd be okay in Colorado.
Yeah. Well,
and for some things,
we need that team south of the border to make that work right.
That's true too. Yeah, I was about to say it's legal up here, so yeah. Yeah. So you've made the transition to the front office now, Jeff. I mean, it's. I know you're involved in quite a bit because your ownership group is heavily involved in the league itself. But was it how much of a transition was it for you? Was it a tough thing to do? Because obviously you are privy to a lot of information, especially when it comes to the birds, as you mentioned in your comment. Now you're not told everything from the league office, but how was it an easy transition to go from being president of the Firebirds to now what's the official acronym?
Modus, yeah, manager of all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So there isn't like an official so I've known Mike Korda since kindergarten. And my role has always been kind of the joke used to be they called me Net. I caught the stuff nobody else wanted. So at this year at league meetings, I said Modus, and everybody laughed. So that's become the official title. But it's not super hard because Matt Woods took over as president in Albany, and he's amazing. Like, he's so much more professional than I am. It makes so much more sense for him to be the guy that you talk to when you want something done officially by the Firebirds. And then we've got a group chat with Jerry Kurz, Gary Compton, Christy McEwen, and myself. I jokingly call it the front office four, where it's just what needs to get done. What needs to get done today. And you guys were talking about stats, and that's been a major effort on my part. Which, considering the fact that I love stats. I'm a sports talk guy, but I was never responsible for keeping a stat book. I'm not that, like, I guarantee you Randy has kept like the entire score of a Tigers game, in the stands. I guarantee it. That was never me. I love reading it. I didn't like keeping it. So I've been working with each team. We're trying to find other companies to make it even easier, to make it more accessible, to get those links out to you guys that you were looking for. And the bane of my existence right now is that you guys don't have stats as readily available as you'd like them, because I'd like you to have them.
Which makes sense. As I said, I don't know if I would suggest Genius Sports, considering that. Anyways, that's for another day. And
We have a program. It's now getting everybody, like, turnover. You guys mentioned the ownership. Awesome ownership. Like, from 24 to 25 was a huge step forward. And then, the guys who left from 25 to 26, like, I don't have any issue with them. I think they left for geographic reasons. They left for competition reasons. And, but the people came in, hard. They're all gamers. Like, they all want to be a part of it, but they're finding their right staff as they go. They're in year one, So, like, if you watch an Albany game, a Kentucky game, a Nashville game, like, Kentucky's year one, but are they really? When you have Cedric Walker and Corey and everybody, you're not really a year one franchise. I don't want to hear it. So, but I think you're
guys, that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah. It's just, and I say that because I'm scared of Cedric, but you're seeing it. Like, they're building their staffs. The teams that have their staffs in place, it's academic at this point. The teams that are still finding the right people to go where they belong. And I dealt with that in 21, 22, 20. We don't mention 23. I've been there, so I know what they're going through. And the cat's going to jump on me. So I think you're going to see each week we're trying to get better. This week there were some uphill climbs and some challenges and getting things, because some of these teams hadn't hosted before. I thought Minnesota did great. I love their field. I know you guys pointed out the minor issues, but I thought it looked cool. But I think you're just going to see each week we get better. And my dream is HTN. Like, I just, these guys with the artificial intelligence and the cameras and stuff like that, there's a dream, there's a scenario where we're not even doing stats. The T800 is up there with Skynet, and all of a sudden you're just watching the screen go by and they're already happening. So that's the dream. That's the goal.
All right. Since we got you here, what happened in Oceanside? What was the reason?
I guess, I literally found out when you guys found out. There was, when they shipped the dasher pads over from the warehouse, apparently, like, some of them got shipped to the wrong spot or whatever. And by the time they realized it wasn't the right dasher pads and it wasn't perfectly safe for the players, it was kick time. So they got the right dasher pads. They put them up. Like, we could have probably played as it was, but that's not who we are. That's not Jerry Kurz was in the building, and you guys know the Godfather. He's not letting players take unnecessary risks. That's not happening. Right. So it was. And again, I found out when you guys found out, because I tuned in to watch the game and I'm all excited. I'm like, what are we doing? So they just, it was, I believe the term is an overabundance of caution.
No, I would be too. No, I would be too. And I'm liking, as I said, again, Jeff, to me, it's just saying with the amount of experience that Jerry has and what he's done good in the past, what he's done bad in the past, I think he's trying to potentially right some wrongs that he may have had in the past, which I love. Let me ask you about...
I don't think Jerry's ever made a mistake, in my opinion.
Let me ask you about history. And I think you heard us talk about before. Obviously, Albany right now has done something that nobody has ever done in arena football history. When it comes to mentioning arena football history, not Arena Football League history, I need to make that clear for everybody. What's the league's view? Because isn't that something that the league, that like Albany would like to promote, saying we now have the longest running streak, regular season streak in arena football history? Is there some lines that you guys are looking to cross and some lines that you're saying, I don't know if I need to mention that at all?
It's kind of case by case and almost team by team. Like Coach Arbette just got his 200th win.
Yeah.
I don't care if that's high school Pop Warner. 200 wins is 200 wins. We honor that instantly. I believe, Tim, I think it was you who actually pointed out to me that we were on the precipice of breaking that record. And I brought it up to Damon Ware on Flock University, and he kicked me under the table and told me to shut up. He didn't want to talk about those things. So he wants one for the thumb, you know? So yeah, it's case by case. And we just brought Jared DeGroff in, who's our new media guy, and he's awesome. I think as he starts to get all of his, procedures and protocols in place, he's going to start picking the brains of you guys, because listen, arenafan.com, that was my website. I went to that website all the freaking time. And even in 18 and 19, when I was just the announcer on the field for the Empire, I was on Arena Fan reading the stats you guys had from before, like all the things Joe Sykes has done and whatever that. You guys are the historians. And if you don't keep our feet to the flame, we're going to miss things. So I blame you. That's what I'm doing.
Like I said, to me, it's always, speaking with Jared and stuff like that, and speaking with everybody, to me, it's a matter of, keeping the league within the news cycle, like you guys do during the off season. You always keep things, the league holds stuff back for reasons, which makes sense. To me, it's always it's self-promotion. Even if the Albany hadn't put out that they had broken that record, it's something that I would hope that the league, I said, the one thing for me really, Jeff, was I really wish the league had acknowledged the 40 years since the very first game. That's really my only thing. And again, I'm not going to ask you this now. We can talk off air. I don't know what the league's relationship is with Jim Foster. But obviously, Jerry mentioning him last night was I loved hearing him mention him last night during the broadcast. But again, it's certain. If Jim Foster had not envisioned this game, none of us would be talking right now, really, because indoor football would not be a thing. And as I said, it doesn't have to be team records. I would just hope that league records or league historical moments would arena football.
I think there's, again, that overabundance of caution thing. Like, we are not the same league as 2024. And so, and because of, let's be honest, 2023 is the worst year I've ever spent in football. And for anyone who doesn't know, look it up. It's pretty ridiculous. 2024 was not far off. We have to be very, very cautious to make sure everyone knows that the AF1, is, we're the custodians of arena football. Like, we are arena football. You're if you don't have nets, if you're not doing it the right way, you're not arena football. We're arena football. Right. You can play indoors. That's great, but we're arena football. So what we want to do is honor all the things you're talking about, Tim, but at the same time, we have to be very, very careful that we're not confused. The third thing is a 1. It's not an L. We have to be very, very careful to make sure everybody
agreed 100%. And that's why I've always said it's arena football. You know what I mean? Right. I get your point, though. I get your point. We're not the Arena Football League family. We're we're part of the Arena Football family.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I get your point. It's a very good point.
I mean, there's 2 other leagues out there. Well, more than 2, also claiming to be arena that clearly aren't.
In name only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just started one in my backyard, actually, earlier today. Yeah, the cat, the dog. We got a couple teams coming up. It's Levac Arena Yard football. It's pretty great.
But you can say that the AF1 is a second-year league with a history that goes back all the way back to 1981, when Jim Foster attended the indoor soccer game and said, "I wonder if I could play football here." And he pulls out the manila envelope and sketched out a field and some rules. So the NFL, it has a big history, even though it's a second-year league.
Yeah, the NFL counts the old AFL records. So,
that's a great way to put it. And I think, I hate making excuses because they don't matter. Well, what's the old saying? Everybody's got buttholes and excuses. Everybody's got them. I think a lot of it is that we are year 2, even though the history is there, and Jerry's been kind enough to tell me the story, of Foster and how it got there and when they started working together and all that. But we're so focused on making sure that we are the dominant arena football league, that we are, that we're not going anywhere. Like some of you guys have heard me say this, like, Joshua, you've had me on the show. Tim, you've been stuck talking to me. Randy, we had fun back and forth. Scott's voice is better than mine, so I don't like talking to him. But I used to say I wanted Albany to be league proof, like because we had been in, these other leagues, and I just didn't feel comfortable, and I wanted to make sure that Albany never lost arena football again. The truth is you can't be. Not nowadays. You need to have a strong league. Like high tides rise all ships, and we need to make sure AF1 is the most solidified, just business savvy, not going anywhere. And then once we have that, you guys said on the field, we have the best players, we have the best plays, our competition's getting better every week. We have HTM with the cameras. Now that we're getting to where every time you tune in, you're seeing a great game. Now a guy like me is going to be in the back office going, okay, what's wrong with stats? Okay, how do I honor, this? How do I do that? Like, what's next? But right now, I know for a fact that we're just so dialed in on making sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted.
Which makes a ton of sense. As I said, it's what we were saying before about, we were going back and forth. I think you're part of the conversation when we were talking about the segments that Scott and I were doing, Jeff, and it's the idea of, as we brought up earlier, about letting us in on tidbits. But I think, did you agree with me what I said? Because if there's legalese, you don't want to tell somebody that you can break something and then something go completely wrong.
So I do afternoon sports talk here in the Capital Region. I'm on the Fox Sports affiliate, and I go nuts because Mike Korda, Andy Gelcher, Jerry Kurz, Jeff Fisher, Jeff Jarrett. I talk to these guys once a day. Do you think they give it to me? I'm like the highest rated segments in the history of Levack and Gaz, the stupid talk show that I do, is when we talk about arena football. They don't even give it to me, and I'm like, so, and some of it's what you're talking about, like let's not put ourselves in a position where we're negotiating with HTN, and HTN goes, you've already announced this, so deal with it. They've been great, by the way. I don't think they would do that. But also things change so fast. Like, there was a point in the off season where I didn't think Michigan was coming. And then we go to league meetings and there's Michigan. And I'm like, oh, great. You know what I mean? So like it has to be solidified before it starts coming out. If you guys want to get together in a bar in Albany and have some beers, I'll tell you what I know, but I guarantee you it changes just as fast as what you know.
I get that.
Well, since we got you here, is there any news you do want to break since we have you?
Let me see. It's just, it's
nobody's playing this weekend.
Well, so hopefully we're going to have an outdoor block party in Albany. It's Oceanside. It's going to, I'm excited because I think Oceanside is one of those teams that we have only begun to see what they're going to do on the field, but more growth. We're going to keep growing. The front office is working hard on it. I walked into Mike Korda's office the other day, and he doesn't have an office, by the way. He's one of those guys that puts his desk in the middle of the building, and he's like, everybody should be able to see me and talk to me and deal with me. But he was clearly talking about something that he didn't think anybody else in the room was going to know what it was. And I was like, oh, is that something? And he's like, dude, just shut up. We're working on it. So there's a lot of great news on the horizon, but I don't know that any of it's official enough that I could break it and not feel like I was going to look stupid.
Can you confirm or deny that Oceanside will have a logo on their helmet this weekend?
I can't. I gotta be honest with you. There's weeks I don't know if Albany will. So
I'm not worried about that. They've had one every week, but it just seems like that's a big
throwback Lions thing. Don't you love that? I mean, I would think you like that helmet.
Yes
Oh,
and
here,
no.
how about this? How about this? Because on your segment this week, I don't think it was brought up, or I didn't see the segment a couple of weeks ago. Can you give us any insight on the new? Is it minority ownership for Oceanside? I don't know the whole story. That's why I'm asking it that way. Didn't they just bring in somebody recently to join the ownership group?
Well, yeah. So Josh and Felix have taken a bigger role. They were kind of in the background. They've stepped up and taken a bigger role. I know there's negotiations because it's just it's that market. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't want to be there? And they do such a great job in the community. I don't think there's a team in this league that wouldn't take a qualified owner at this point. Like even here in Albany, I've got Mike Korda, Andy Gelcher, and Richie Sesnet, 3 great local businessmen. I guarantee you, if one of you guys rolled up with like cash flow and good ideas, you'd be added to the group. So like I think Oceanside, we love what they're doing. Again, when Albany kicked off in 2021, we were kind of the sister team of the Orlando Predators. And the Predators really, really focused on the in the community, on the field show, not as much as like the competitive football. And that's why we washed them off the field every time we played them. But we had to learn from them how to be in the community. Oceanside, I can learn from Oceanside on how to be in the community. And I've been doing this for a long time. So that's a group I expect to continue to grow and improve.
And I'm liking about Oceanside too is that it seems that they seem to be, and you can probably correct me if I'm wrong here, Jeff. It seems that they're outdrawing the other indoor team that is also housed at Front Wave. They seem to have a better crowd.
I didn't know there was another team there. I didn't know. No. You know what they've done, which I think is great, is they've really wrapped their arms around the Marine Corps, the bases in town, and Josh is a Marine. Yeah, I believe he was 10 years in the Corps. They've really wrapped their arms around the Marines. So like I think there was a small window when I was down in Columbus, and they've got the bases down there. And I was like, how do I pay for buses to get these guys I want Texas A&M. I want that. And I think you're going to see that. I think that's what Oceanside's done, is they've really brought the military family into the arena.
Well, and they stayed true to the Oceanside specific branding. They're not the San Diego. No, we are your local team. We play here. We are Oceanside.
Yeah.
I think that means something.
Yeah. I mean, even the Chargers couldn't wait to get out of San Diego. I mean, what does that tell you?
I don't know. That's paradise down there.
Despite the thing with the boards the other night, and Jeff, did you get a chuckle? By the way, did you see the interview with Jerry last night?
Loved it. I loved it.
I was like, dude, you have no clue who you're talking to, do you?
It's funny. You guys mentioned, like, can we get the class for them? Like, so what I actually started like a Google Doc called AF1 and I'm putting like the Deuce, the Rouge, I'm sorry, it's the One. We don't call it the Rouge. Jerry will come to my house and backhand me. And I've been trying to get it all together and just share it out. Like, in all sincerity, if you guys want to send over what you hear, I'll add it to the sheet, because you guys like Josh will have me.
You're asking for trouble on that one. You're just asking for trouble.
Yeah. No. Hey, listen. I'd rather deal with 5 people who know more about the history of the game than me than 5,000 people online who just want to tell me I'm fat and stupid. I mean, just because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it. It's wrong.
There are certain things, and I understand, and now I really understand the reasoning why now Jerry is holding the rule book so close to the vest. I completely get that now. I think probably 10, 15 years ago, I probably would still be bitching about it, why I don't have it. But I think it's just a matter of, you hear the guy last night, and it's funny. There's so much. The guys doing the play-by-play in Oceanside seem to know a lot about arena football, but that you don't know when he doesn't know what fan interference is and what happens after fan interference. You know what I mean? I was like,
yep.
Dude, it's like, I really wanted to text him. I don't have his text, but I was like, I really wanted to text him. I was like, really? It's fan interference. I'm sure he knows catch interference, but he doesn't know fan interference. But still, I said, it's not really a nitpick. It's just like,
no, but
there were golden moments in that broadcast last night for sure.
I don't remember which one of you guys actually said it, but like, I think it might've been Scott, where it's just like, I'm glad that this is what we're focused on.
Mhm.
It's not like, why are there 5 dudes on the field, or I mean, I don't know if you guys remember last year, a team showed up and had to play in old uniforms. You know what I mean? Like we're focusing on making sure these guys know exactly what they're talking about. And I think some of it is we're in that transition between, you know, a lot of these leagues where it's your side hustle. You know what I mean? Like for a lot of the people, obviously not myself and ownership and whatever, but it's your side hustle. So now we're getting to that league where we're getting to that size where your other job's your side hustle. Like this has to be what you do, but we're still like that mentality, that mindset is, it's a bit of a hard route that you got to pull out, you know? And I think as we go, you're seeing more and more. And actually Gaz is trying to get me to do color on a game coming up for Albany. So if you want to hear really bad commentary, I think it's June 12th. It could be Tom Gozlowski and Jeff Levac in the booth because Andrew Santillo has to go to a family function. So, but again, I think as we get, the more we grow, the more teams, the more sponsors, the more fans and stands, I think you're going to see this become everyone's life. You know what I mean? Like hell, just in the NFL, refs were part-time until how many years ago? You know, so I think you're seeing that transition. And that's why when somebody doesn't know fan interference, it's like, wait a minute, how come? And I will give credit though, because I think a lot of people would have faked their way through it and sounded worse, where he was just like, I don't know what's going on. I want to hear from the ref. And I respect that on another level too.
Oh, for
the
sure.
Oceanside guys cracked me up all season. There was a second older gentleman earlier this year, and he straight up said it. Man, I don't know this game, so you're going to be teaching me all night. like that, they've been funny. I've enjoyed them. But
well, it's San Diego. It's Oceanside, California. It's like 70 and sunny every day. These guys don't go inside until the game starts. So,
yeah. Now we've again, and as we've heard, and it's. There's been a lot to like in 2026. There really has, Jeff. And again, it's I don't see how now, including you, how just the small group of people in the AF1 headquarters are doing it. I don't. You know, Jerry's at this game, Gary's going to this one, and Christy's going here. I'm just like, man, I don't know how. And it's not, you know. We're not getting any younger. I mean,
speak for yourself.
I mean, Jerry, man, he's been at it for 40 years, 40 years, more than that. I mean, it's just, I like to see where I love to see where it is now, Jeff. I really do. And it's, you know,
well, and the front office is growing too, because now we brought Jared in.
That's true.
Like I've been moved over. So last year it was the three of them. You know what I mean? Like it was Jerry, Gary, and Christy, like in every market, every weekend, every one of our Vice games, Jerry was there and Jerry was the runner. Like you know, we're offering to pay these 20-year-olds to just run for Vice. And Jerry's like, nah, I'm just going to do it. It's easier if I do it. And Jerry's tracking down all the stuff. So it's growing. It's getting better. You know, Jeff Fisher is, you know, I hear him on the phone with Mike once in a while. And the only thing that sucks is now being the third most famous Jeff in the front office. That sucks.
Well, at least nobody's calling you slap nuts.
You don't know what happens behind the scenes. No, Jeff Jarrett's been very good to me. Like he's intense, dude. That's not an act. That guy, he's intense. He wants what he wants and he wants it right now. And then he'll text me on the side and be like, am I okay? I'm like, dude, it's gotta get done. Like he's a hard driving dude. That's everybody's rowing in the same direction. And you know, we're adding, it's growing. It's getting bigger every day.
Is the league going to partner with Vice on Jeff Jarrett's 3-episode series of come on, you talk about free advertising for both, if you think about it.
Yeah. I think it's already done without us. But
you can still promote him. You can still promote it. You know what I mean? Promote it and
commercials both ways.
The commercials both ways, exactly.
Is anybody nervous? Like nobody's I heard it's 3 episodes. Like it's the dark side of the ring. Like, is anybody nervous what we're going to find out about Slapnuts? I mean,
Hey.
The Last Cowboy. Like, I'm a little nervous. You got to remember, I'm 23, and then
I know.
And then the other wrestler with the beer. Like I'm a little nervous what we're going to find out about Mr. Jarrett.
I think it's just the idea knowing that there's kind of some similarities when you think about Jeff Jarrett and what's happened with the AF1 recently. He started his own wrestling company. That's to me, that's the thing to look at. I think it's just a matter of the league needs to take advantage of any positive, type of advertising that they can, no matter what, just the type of story that it is.
Obviously, I'm kidding because like he's like
and
his dad was a major promoter. He's a major promoter. He's a champion. He's a businessman. Like he just fought some dude at a Minnesota ballpark last weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
Yeah. I just the promo is out there. Like he's that guy's nonstop. I had a full conversation with him, and he was in the doctor's office, like he was getting his checkup or whatever. Like he's just like he's nonstop. So yeah, I believe that is between. I think it's between the Jeffs, the higher paid Jeffs, Fisher and Jarrett. But I know that we're all going to get behind it, enjoy it. I'm joking about it being scary, but like a 3-episode Dark Side of the Ring, like that's not going to be love letters and roses, man. There's going to be some stuff in there. Like, but I know he's not worried. So I just I'm a media guy. That's what I do. I get paid to worry.
Oh, I'm just looking at this. And if my guess is right on when it's supposed to start, Jeff, the week 2 that is supposed to come on is going to be I think it's the Vice game, Nashville and Albany.
That's perfect.
What better, man? What better way?
I love it. I'm ready. I got a kendo stick in the other room. I'll go get it right now. You can bring the guitar. I'll bring the kendo.
Oh, that's amazing.
We'll get after
it. Good. That's cool to see. Because it's great to see because we this, Jeff. The arena football has had celebrity ownership in the past, and it's really just been there for the name. Hearing what Jeff Jarrett is doing behind the scenes is just it's a breath of fresh air. To knowing that he's taking it so seriously, rather than Travis Tritt, the original one with the original Cats. As far as I know, it's just there as in name only. Yeah. So it's
Dicka. Dicka was the same way.
I mean, John Gruden's down in Nashville. I haven't met him yet, and I'm a Raiders fan. So that's probably my biggest disappointment with this league so far, is I haven't got one-on-one with Gruden. But I think the fact that these big names want to be at the party is huge. Like that's because you guys keep saying like that was Elway's that one, and Jaworski, and Kiss owns a team.
I was there at the announcement when they announced Kiss.
That was so cool.
That was mind blowing. Yeah, we were in Orlando.
Yes.
Mind blowing.
The very short period of time that I was running the Columbus Lions, we had their end zones. So that's my only tie to it. But
by the way, if you make the Gruden thing happen on the 20th, find me. I'm a huge Raiders fan.
I knew I like Scott better than the rest of you guys. I knew it. No, I think it's just the beginning. Like, what I can't understand is all these famous owners in Nashville. Like, doesn't anybody want to be a part of the championship team? I mean,
you guys seem to be doing okay.
Hey, Portnoy, I know you're up in Saratoga. Come on, let's go barstool action in Albany. Come on, what are we doing here? Let's go.
I'm about to say you had somebody, but that year kind of ruined it.
That was different. So, that was different.
That's different. All right.
That's it. But I will say that was the most I ever spoke to, like Yahoo National, ESPN National, Fox Sports National. Like I have a thing called the Tony timeline, so I could just keep track of everything that happened during that time. It was just such a crazy. It's gonna, like, if I ever learn to write, it's gonna be a hell of a book.
Yeah, it's good to see you're getting over your PTSD. That's good to see.
It's fine. I just drink a lot.
I had one question, if you don't mind me, Tim, stepping in real quick.
No. I was trying to think. I'm glad you stepped in.
Oh yeah. So I've been a big fan of your guys' AF1 podcast you did all last year. I tuned in every week. You've started popping in on the Vice broadcast lately with that same title. What is this? It's AF1
Season pass.
Season
pass.
Yeah.
Where's the podcast, man? I need that arena content like every day.
So the production crew that helped do that was Evergreen now. So we don't have the production crew yet. And my co-host moved to Syracuse on me. So Gaz comes into town for the games. So it's made production a little tougher. It is definitely something we're working on. We're working towards. It's just, I currently have 4 jobs. So I got to get rid of one. If I get rid of one, AF1 season pass will be back in its entirety.
You got to get that promoted better, because I'm embarrassed to say I didn't know about that till the end of the season last year.
That's and no offense, but that's probably why Evergreen now isn't here anymore.
Right.
I love.
I mean, that's also
the
league's responsibility too to put that out. The league's putting out a league podcast. There was, as far as I know, there weren't any posts about it or anything.
We didn't have a Jared, and we didn't have a Sports Interactive then. Yeah. It was literally like it was Evergreen now, and Jerry and Christy Gary were in the front office, and Adam Pelletier was helping, but Adam, I think, is a principal. So it's like, he was running a school full of, booger eaters all day and then coming home and trying to schedule everything for us. So it's, that's why, like, the biggest thing for me, and the reason I'm happy to be in the front office, is all these questions you guys have. I had them, and I was just like, well, this has got to happen. And now they're like, all right, go ahead and do it. All right. So yeah, but the one thing I think needs to be expressed the most is, Mike Corda, Andy Gelcher, Jeff Fisher, Jerry Kurz, Gary Compton, all this. Like, we went to him and we're like, hey, we need a media guy. Like, I can create content. But you've got me trying to fix stats. You've got me, riding shotgun with Jerry and Gary whenever they need me. And Christy, nobody works harder than Chris McEwen in the world of football. We need a guy. So they were like, okay, they hired a guy. They created a position for the office. So that is not going to stop. These aren't the kind of guys that fail. You know what I mean? These are the guys that are like, okay, if spending money makes sense and makes us better, we're going to do it. And that's why I think you'll see with Jared in the office now. I might have to change it to the front office 5 soon, But I think that's where, to Adam and Scott and your point, where, hey, the league's got to get better at promoting this stuff. That's what Jared does, man. He's got 30, 60, 90-day plans for each team. He's got best practices. We're getting on calls once a week with the media people from every front office. And so it's growing, and some people are being dragged along kicking and screaming, but I've quieted down. So
Albany question for you real quick. When Sam came back, how many calls did you get about Josh?
Luckily, Damon is the GM and the head coach, but my understanding is the second everybody found out Sam wasn't playing in the UFL anymore, they all tried to get him released from us. They went after Sam first. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, which, why wouldn't you go after the MVP? I believe it was made very clear very quickly that Damon Ware is very happy with his quarterback room. And you're more than welcome to call. But the long-term plan is that Sam is not here next year. And that's not that we don't want Sam. If Sam doesn't have a place to play, Sam will be in Albany. But the goal is for Sam to go back up in the preseason, fight, prove, earn the job, and then Josh takes over in Albany. I know that's the dream for a lot of us, wearing black and orange.
How scared were y'all when he got released and then both their quarterbacks go down that same weekend?
It wasn't. I've gotten really good at tunnel vision. I say this in the office a lot. Like Damon's big sayings this year are standard over everything, and you spell fun, WIN, my saying is, in Damon where I trust. So every time something happens, whether it be, a player gets hurt or there's a contract thing or, Trayvon Shorts decides to go play in Vegas. God bless him. Love that dude. I just look over at Damon and I go, what do you got in your bag of tricks now, buddy? And so far he's continued to pull the flowers and the rabbit and the corn behind the ear. He's in Damon I trust.
So I was about to say he has some guys coming out who may be cut coming out of CFL camps. So I'm sure he's gonna be taking a look too across the league. He's so good at that, and he has so many so many different ways of finding players. That's what I like about Coach Ware.
Oh yeah, well you look at Coach Ware, Coach Arbette, Cedric Walker, just the name of J.R. Wells this year. I mean, I love teasing Wells about the gloves because I can tell it bothers him. And he is like my man can talk some smack. He's fun. But I feel like Washington's made a huge step forward, and you look at the teams like Kentucky, Overstreet. I mean that's a prototypical quarterback, man. He's big. He's got a big arm. Like this. These guys are so good at finding talent, and I don't it's like Cree and Leota. Like it was so easy a year ago to be like, it's going to be Albany, it's going to be Nashville, maybe Billings at one point, whatever. This year, I firmly believe Albany, Nashville, Kentucky can beat any team playing arena, indoor. It doesn't matter what three letters or numbers or whatever it is you play under. I think those three teams are the best of the best. It used to be a huge drop after that. I don't see that drop anymore. Like Washington took Albany to the woodshed for 3 quarters, and it's these guys and finding these players and seeing Laughing House in the league and Epps in the league and you said we're not getting younger. Darius Prince might be getting younger. Like he might be getting younger. What do you have? 150 yards this week? It was like the players in this league are phenomenal. It's scary. And Zeke Rose, he's the one who nicknamed me Big Back Levac. That dude is he's no human that large should move that quickly. Sorry, I tangented on you guys. I apologize.
You get. I'll say another guy that might be getting younger, Joe Powell.
Dude.
Man.
How is he not playing Sundays? Like how? Like I literally found him when they were in town, and I was just like, because I met him like once or twice briefly, but I didn't know. Jesus, like I was messaging Tim to get information about guys and players at that point. I walked up to him. I was like, man, I watch you play football every single week. I love the way you ball. He's like, man, I appreciate that. And I go, anything more than that's tampering, so I'm getting the hell away from you. So
this might be a little bit out of your zone, but it's a good question coming out of chat. Any chance to get last season's games uploaded somewhere?
Yeah, we have them. I know where they are. I know the drive they're on. That is actually something I thought was being addressed, but I will find that out for sure. I think some of them are on the league YouTube, but I would like to make sure all of them are. And that is, this is why I wanted to be on the show. That gives me something to do tomorrow. I'm going to reach out to Benny Ice and Jared and see if we can get them all uploaded ASAP. I also have to make sure that there's no, because God knows people love to be litigious. So let me make sure I'm allowed to put them all up too.
Yeah. By the way, how are you guys getting? Are you guys having fun dealing with YouTube's music issues?
Well, there is no issue. We play music, and they don't want to monetize those videos. Luckily, so we started working with this company called Sports Interactive, and what they've been able to do is they've made us creators. So we don't like. Obviously, we would love to be in a position where every viewer is translated into monetization, but right now we get to air the games. They're just not monetized, which we made a decision. We didn't want to do a paywall. HTN supported that. So we'd rather give you the game the way it's supposed to be and not be monetized And right now everything is, knock on wood, that's what we're able to do. So
Some of the funnier stuff when the games are on Vice and on HTN at the same time. People don't know that there are, I don't want to call them hot mics, but I'm sure you know, Jeff, how bad it can be sometimes when there are hot mics and you don't remember that they're on.
Week 1, Michigan, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. But it's just in general, though.
I thought that was Randy.
There's another side of it. If you haven't watched it, go to HTN and watch the Vice game at the same time, but also listen to the stuff in between the commercials. It can be golden. Just some of the stuff you don't necessarily think you're going to hear because you're watching commercials on Vice.
Right.
It's just another side of it where sometimes something's caught on a hot mic.
Yeah, they sent us ambient mics. So HTN sent all the equipment. So the cameras, the headsets, the replay, all that comes right from HTN. So our first home game, somebody told HTN that I was a radio guy. So HTN was like, "Oh, audio." So I was the one putting our ambient mics out. I was the one doing all that. And I literally I went to every one of our guys. I was like, "You see that right there? You see that? You stay away from it. That's not for you. I don't want to hear you. I don't even want to know. I've heard you guys talk on this bench. You stay away from that." But I don't think everybody realizes those mics are, HCN's getting way better at protecting us. But yeah, there's definitely some gold. Like I said, that first week in Michigan, Coach Liotto, I was like, he's a passionate dude.
There was one in Michigan. There was one in Michigan, and I don't remember I think it was Vice, and they made a comment about the attendance in Washington for that game. So I'll leave it at that. But I mean, it's a hot mic. I mean, everybody gets caught on a hot mic, including last year, and with somebody that's been around arena football for quite a long time. So I mean,
was it me?
It happens.
We say it too. Like in the world of radio, they tell you every mic's a hot mic. I've been doing radio for 30 years. Every 3 years ago, I slipped. I didn't know the mic was on. I was in a room. I said some engineer came flying in. "What's happening in here?" And I'm like, "Nothing." "Oh." "Well, you already know what's happening in here. I just said it."
Yeah.
Off the wall there, Trey. What standards are going on in Albany that are going to the rest of the league? It sounds like there's a lot of trade back and forth, but is there anything specifically in Albany?
Well, I mean, you guys talked about the, staying fresh 365. That's something that we do in Albany. We've got, Ben Nelson, his job is content 365, and Spike. So, you guys know this, the blessing and the curse of arena football is these players are under 1-year contracts. So if you don't take great care of them, they're gone. But in the off season, they're gone. So, we really focus on making sure that we're in the community with, the Flames, our dance team, with Spike, the mascot, Coach Ware, Coach C-State. Yeah, we're out all the time, and that's something that we're really stressing to every other team. I mean, we found out from 21 to 22 that you can spend all the money in the world on advertising, and if they don't know you, they don't know you. So in 22, we made a point to go to schools and flag football games and really go out and see the kids and the families, and we saw more people in the stands. So that's number one is, the standard over everything, as Coach Ware says, and the standard is be present, be in the community, and we have these great partners like our guys. And I speak to this at AF1 college and all that stuff, AF1 University. We used to do gift cards. So like the guys, part of the deal is you feed the guys, like you house them, you feed them. That you take care of them. They're your guests for 4 months, So we used to do gift cards and all that. What we found was it's better if, so Monday night, IHOP in Clifton Park, there's all 25 guys are going to be there at 5:30 eating dinner. So the community can now, if you want to eat dinner with the Firebirds, stop by, say hello. They're getting special meals made for them. The same as, every Tuesday is Hooters. Every Wednesday we go between Outback and Katie O'Byrne's. Like we're in the community each and every night. And because of that, we have now Flock Support. And that's the fan council has been a big part of that. So Flock Support is our booster club. We have Steven and East who run that, and they do adopt a player. So now they're giving these guys bags for travel and all this other stuff. So basically what I just took way too long to tell you is the Standard in Albany is just weaving into the community and making sure these are guys that we want here and that the community wants here. And the community is taking care of them. And we want to make sure that everybody realizes that is your best advertisement, is your guys in the community. And then your front office and your mascot, and be at the charity runs, be at the events, be present.
The late John Pettit of the Iowa Barnstormers always used to say that husbands buy the season tickets, but the wives are the ones that renew it.
That's a great one. I love that.
And it really is the case. I mean, my wife loves the game. I think gets more excited as the season gets going than I do. Like, to me, man, I got to work again. but yeah, no, the wives love it, especially to get that interaction, that fan. When you see your kid getting that interaction, they caught a great photo of my son. Actually, Andy with Arena Fan caught a great photo of my son and Tyler Kolka this last weekend.
That's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah,
I love him, man.
Yeah, that whole family's great folks.
They're all they do is just create quarterbacks. Like every single
got
one
a baby now, so give it another 18, 20 years. We got another Kolka coming up. So
yep. Yeah, we're not letting Josh leave. Josh is going to stay right here, and then we're just going to keep.
It's like a Manning.
Yeah. The Kolkas are the Mannings of arena football.
No, that wouldn't be so bad right there.
That would not suck.
All right, guys. We've been going for 2.5 hours, definitely longer than we expected to go. Guys, it's been awesome.
Jeff gave some great insight that he could from the AF1 HQ, and it's greatly appreciated because you've heard me say this. I'm sure
this wasn't planned. This wasn't. None of this was planned.
I heard you guys call me out, and I was like, I gotta get in there. I gotta,
If people learn, I've always said this, you learn one thing from this show a week, you're golden, because it could be Jeff, it could be a guest, it could be from one of the other multiple historians here that are with us today. You just learn one new thing.
Mike on? I just all I want to know.
Yeah, I'm here.
He doesn't get quite as much practice as we do going live. So.
But we appreciate you, Jeff. You and everybody in the HQ. It's we are loving. We're loving the transparency, how it's being put out. People may get frustrated, but as everybody has finally learned, there is a method to the madness, and it's done for a particular reason. And just as you've said, as others have been told us, as owners have told us, stay tuned, get ready.
It's year 2, and you guys, like, in all seriousness, like, I know. Adam and Randy, I gave you guys a really hard time last year for the fun of it when you were coming to Albany for the championship game. And, Joshua, you're nice to have me on all the time. And Scott and Tim, you guys, if we don't have you guys, like, out doing what you're doing, we have Chris Sipperly locally who does a great show with Adam. It's just you guys are legit fanatics, like, and the best possible way. So having you guys out beating the drum for us and Tim, thanks for sharing the story that, after 24, you didn't know if you wanted to do this anymore. It's just, it means a lot. And I can't always get back to you guys as fast as I'd like to. And Randy, I'm sorry, I can't give you the insider scoop all the time, but I will always be available whenever you guys need me, because I appreciate all you do for the game.
I'm used to being snubbed by league management, so it's no big deal.
What? I would never. I don't even know what you mean. I put my rings on one finger at a time, just like everybody else.
Yeah. No, Adam and I have loved the game. Again, like I've said, since 2000, we went to our first game in 2000, and the Rampage lost by 20 points, like 74-54. It was the greatest game we had ever seen in our lives. We were so excited to come back again. And I took my brother back a few weeks later to another game that season. And halfway through that game, my brother had no idea what was going on. And halfway through the game, I turned to my brother and I said, "What do you think about getting season tickets next year?" He goes, "Heck yeah, this is awesome." And we had season tickets. Eventually, I was able to take 3 of my kids, and I was in the press box. The kids were down right in front of the press box, so I could keep an eye on them in the game. And we just love arena football. That's all there is to it.
Well, just
so while you're talking, throw out. Let's say throw out your website.
Question for the playoffs in Albany. We'll be ready for you. Gary Compton's going to kick my ass for this, just so you know.
That is a long drive for us, and Adam and I have already talked. Said if we're going back to Albany again, we got to get a better hotel than that dump we stayed in last year. I don't know where it was, but boy, I saved some money. But
the Landings Hotel at the Rivers Casino and Resort, proud sponsor of your Albany Firebirds.
All I gotta say is, man, if I can just convince Jerry and the league to, we have a smaller arena just off the island of Montreal. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to host the championship game. That's a dream of mine. Toronto had season tickets when they were in Toronto, but having a hometown team, that would be cool.
Got that Capper cash. Let's launch a team. I'll get you started.
Capper cash. That's right. Yeah. Well, here's some Canadian Tire money for you, Jeff. If you think it's worth something, then we have a lot to talk about. So
I'm not proud. I'll take it.
Yeah, I got a passport. I'd come to Montreal for a championship game.
Done.
I love Montreal.
Help me in.
I'll go hang out with all the guys in ESPN. It'll be great.
Randy, Tim, you guys want to tell us about where to find you and who wants to grab that?
Yeah, well, you can find me at Repack.
Sorry.
Go
ahead, Tim.
No, Jeff. Yeah, I think you're talking to Jeff.
No, I meant Randy and Adam. Is what I was trying to get.
World of football go. World of football go, guys.
Well, you've got our QR code up there. That will take you again. Scott didn't know that we actually have a website. I've had a website for 20 years called theworldoffootball.com, and that QR code will take you to a page on our website that shows me in my high school football uniform when I played for the Maple Valley Lions, it shows Adam in his Pee Wee football uniform when he played for for his high school. And
hold on, I didn't play high school ball. I'm going to be full disclosure. That was Pee Wee.
You played for your school. You played for your school, and your brother when he played, and then my son-in-law Kyle, who hosts one of our other podcasts. So you get to see all of us over the years, and then there's links to everything. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Threads. Even Adam does Threads. I don't mess with Threads. You got to draw the line somewhere. No TikTok for us, and the website itself and our merch that we sell. So it's all there from that QR code. But theworldoffootball.com is our main website.
At TWOF Kalamazoo across social media.
Yep, right there in my signature thing. TWOF Kalamazoo. Basically every social media spot we've got, that's the handle. TWOF Kalamazoo.
Joshua, take your turn.
Yeah, Rebound Off the Net on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We'll have a show Thursday night, 7:30. So
there you go. Tim, anything you want to put out there? Alouettes?
If you want to follow me in my escapades with the Canadian field, you can follow me over at Repacked on Blue Sky or on X at REPPACT.
So as for AF1 Fan Zone, another site we've been around for about 20 years now. Tim, like so we talked about earlier, graciously joins me on a weekly show that we've preempted for this tonight. Well worth it. But yeah, check us out. AF1 Fan Zone across the board. We just started up a TikTok account. We need folks on there, so follow us there so we can start going live there as well. So the more follows we get there, we can start pushing this stuff there as well. But yeah, Jeff, surprise guest of the night. Anything you want to put out there?
Sorry for crashing the party. That is not how you say my name. Just so you guys know, that's a joke. At the Jeff Levac on X, but most importantly, theaf1.com, because as you guys know, the ball never dies.
I thought it was pronounced Levac, guys. What are we doing?
Levac is the right way, but as long as it's spelled right in the check, I'll answer a damn near anything.
And even if it's not, there's ways around that. So
Venmo, baby. Jeff-Levac.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Like I said, we've way longer than we definitely planned on going. It's been a blast. I think maybe try to do this again at the end of the year, maybe. But yeah, thank you all so much, and we'll be doing it again. So stay tuned. Take care, all.
There, guys.